Hello, my name is HQ of HQ Reacts. Welcome to my channel. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button, share the stream, and click the notification button for new content.
Hey everybody, this is HQ. HQ in the house. HQ in the house. Today, we're just breaking down these two little interviews that we had today. Marco Rubio's interview and Hakeem Jeffries' interview, right? So, we want to know what happened in Venezuela. The U.S. military attacked and captured President Maduro. And what Marco Rubio actually said in this interview about that capture. We'll play the video and stop, analyze what his words reveal about U.S. strategy or lack thereof. Marco Rubio looked wild in this interview, but let's go. Let's go.
Miami. Good morning to you, Mr. Secretary.
Good morning. Good morning.
President Trump said that the United States will run the country and that Venezuela will be largely run by, he pointed to you and some of the other cabinet members when he spoke to the public yesterday. He said the U.S. retains all military options, including boots on the ground, until U.S. demands have been fully met. How do you plan to run the country?
Well, first of all, I think the important thing to point out is that the key to what that regime relies on and is their economy fueled by oil. And right now, it is an oil industry that is backwards and really needs a lot of help and work in terms of it. And not only that, but it doesn't help the people. None of the money from the oil gets to the people. It's all stolen by the people that are on the top there. And so that's why we have a quarantine. There's a quarantine right now in which sanctioned oil shipments, there's a boat, and that boat is under U.S. sanctions. We go get a court order, we will seize it. That remains in place. And that's a tremendous amount of leverage that will continue to be in place until we see changes, not just further the national interest of the United States, which is number one, but also that lead to a better future for the people of Venezuela. And so that's the sort of control the president is pointing to when he says that. We continue with that quarantine. And we expect to see that there will be changes, not just in the way the oil industry is run for the benefit of the people, but also so that they stop the drug trafficking, so that we no longer have these gang problems, so that they kick the FARC and the ELN out, and that they no longer cozy up to Hezbollah and Iran in our own hemisphere.
What you are talking about is more of a sanctions pressure, not boots on the ground. So just to be clear, there is no plan for U.S. occupation of this country of nearly 30 million people.
Well, I think, first of all, the president always retains optionality on anything and on all of these matters. He certainly has the ability and the right under the Constitution of the United States to act against imminent and urgent threats against the country. That said, and all of that said, right now, I think what you see as a force posture was one of the largest naval deployments in modern history, certainly in the Western Hemisphere. And it is capable of stopping not just drug boats, but stopping any of these sanctioned boats that come in and out and really paralyzing that portion of how the regime, generates revenue. So that will continue to be in place. What the president has said, obviously, is, and I think what he's pointing to is that this obsession people have about boots and this or that, but he does not feel like he is going to publicly, rule out options that are available for the United States, even though that's not what you're seeing right now. What you're seeing right now is an oil quarantine that allows us to exert tremendous leverage over what happens next.
Well, whoa. See, this is where we got to stop. This ain't what he said, right? First, he described the situation as largely economic leverage and pressure, not boots on the ground. We know if you're gonna run it, you're gonna have boots on the ground. So let's just be clear on that. Don't try to snow what the hell happened here. And they trying to snow what the hell happened here. The whole point of this, I believe this was not about oil or regime change. This is something that came out of Donald Trump's imagination because he don't like when somebody gets the best of him. And when somebody gets the best of him, he got to come back and be petty, because this is what he does. And I believe this was born out of some petty shit. I believe this was born out of some petty shit. First, he says it's not economic leverage, it's not no boots on the ground, but this aligns with what he's tried to proclaim. I'm sorry. This isn't an occupation. This is sanctions, quarantine, not war. That's what we keep hearing people say. This ain't war. We ain't went to war. But here's the contradiction. Shortly after that capture, President Trump publicly declared that the United States would run that country until a transition occurred. Rubio's attempt to tone it down on camera, calling it sanction pressure, already shows that this administration is sending mixed signals. It's not a unified plan. There is no unified plan. And notice the wording. It's about influence and leverage, not building institutions, elections, or long-term governance. That's a big gap. So what the fuck is going on? Y'all just ran over there, ran into another country, ran over there and snatched a president up out of his country. You didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing else except snatch him up out of the country. What about the rest of those people that are still there? What about the rest of the people that were in charge right along with him? There's some bad actors still there. You didn't get them people out. You got to get that whole administration up out of there. But they didn't do that. They just got the damn boss. So what about the rest of them people? Them people must have went along with whatever was going on. They allowed this shit to happen. They was in on it. They was in on it. The people that's there still.
He also said the U.S. is ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. But I'm curious, because you just described the regime as still in place, essentially. I mean, I'm curious why the Trump administration decided to leave it intact and only arrest Nicolas Maduro and his wife, the person who controls the police, the chief thug, Diaz-Cabello. He's the interior minister. He's been indicted by the United States. He was in that indictment the administration released. He's a narco-terrorist. There's a $25 million price on his head. He's still in place. The defense minister, who has deep ties to Russia, $15 million price on his head. He is still in place. I'm confused. Are they still wanted by the United States?
She said, I'm confused. Listen to how Marco Rubio addresses her. Listen, he don't put his foot on nothing definitive. Watch how he addresses her.
States, why didn't you arrest them if you are taking out the narco-terrorist regime?
You're confused? I don't know why that's confusing to you.
They're still in power.
It's very simple. You're not going to go in and wrap up. But you can't go. You're going to go in and suck up 5 people.
Hold on. We are the United States of America. We the baddest military walking on this planet. What you mean you can't go in there and get 2-3 people besides that boss? What you mean? I don't understand. You can't go get the rest of them? You were scared to go get the rest of them? Is that what he's trying to tell us? Come on, y'all. Come on.
Already complaining about this one operation. Imagine the howls we would have from everybody else if we actually had to go and stay there 4 days to capture 4 other people. We got the top priority. The number one person on the list was the guy who claimed to be the president of the country that he was not, and he was arrested along with his wife, who was also indicted. And that was a pretty sophisticated and frankly complicated operation.
It was.
It is not.
Wait a minute. So we just gonna leave the rest of the group there? We just gonna leave the second in command there? Because the second in command, didn't she just get sworn in? So why would you allow the second in command under Maduro to swear in and then leave the military the way it is, leave the interior design, leave all of them people in there when they was supporting Maduro because they wasn't trying to overthrow him? So why didn't they take all of those other people? because they don't have no intention of doing any kind of regime change. They don't want to do anything. This was a vindictive thing. They just wanted to get Maduro out. And now they don't have no plans whatsoever for this country. Because they don't care one way or the other what happens with the country. They keep saying that. But now they just wanted to flex their muscles. We got y'all. We can come in and get the rest of y'all. You going to do what we say.
Not easy to land helicopters in the middle of the largest military base in the country. The guy lived on a military base. Land within 3 minutes, kick down his door, grab him, put him in handcuffs, read him his rights, put him in a helicopter, and leave the country without losing any American or any American assets. That's not an easy mission. And you're asking me, why didn't we do that in 5 other places at the same time? I mean, that's absurd. I do think this is one of the most, daring, complicated, sophisticated missions this country has carried out in a very long time. Tremendous credit to the U.S. military personnel who did it. It was unbelievable. And tremendous success. And today, an indicted drug trafficker who was not the legitimate president of Venezuela, who we don't recognize, the Biden administration didn't recognize, 60-something countries don't recognize, the European Union doesn't recognize, and many countries in Latin America don't recognize. He was a indicted drug trafficker. He was arrested. His wife was arrested, also
but the
indicted.
the others who are also indicted.
But you see, he don't say nothing. You see, he ain't really saying nothing. When asked about how Venezuela should be governed moving forward, he dodged specifics. They don't have any idea of what to do and when to do. This was just a revenge thing that Donald Trump wanted right off the bat. And I believe it's a test case. It's a test run for Cuba. That's what I really think. It's a test run for Cuba. See, this is not accidental. In conventional nation-building narrative, leaders will talk about timeline, democratic processes, how to bring power back to the people. Rubio don't say nothing about that. He don't say nothing about that. Instead, his language is about pressure, influence, sanction, illicit actors. That tells you something important right there. They don't have no roadmap. They don't care. They don't care what happened to them Venezuelan people. They up out of there because they wanted to get that man up out of there. And the fact that Rubio doesn't assert one thing that they definitively is going to do, no, we ain't trying to hear it. They don't have no plan. This is a test run for something. I don't know what.
Okay.
I believe it's Cuba. Go ahead.
Hey, HQ. Hey. So this shocked me. I was telling my husband, like, yo, that's some mafia stuff. Okay. And I remember when Trump's first term, he was mad at Maduro. Why? Because he wouldn't allow him to come on his land and drill oil. So this goes back to 2017. Trump's been trying to do something with Maduro, and Maduro's been fighting back. But again, it started off with the oil. I'm not sure what you said it has to do with another country.
Cuba. No, what I'm saying is they really didn't want to do anything except get the oil. They don't care about the regime change except getting Maduro out the way, because they gonna do what they want to do. You see what I'm saying? Once I get the boss, I don't care about the rest of y'all, because we can come in there and get the rest of y'all. So you gonna do what we tell you, right? So that they gonna do what he tell them to do. What Trump tell them to do, they gonna do. They just doing this as a test run for Cuba. That's really the whole thing. Didn't Marco Rubio come from Cuba? I think he was from Cuba.
I don't know,
but I ain't sure. I think this is a test run for that. That's
okay.
Yeah, I think it's a test run. Hold on, let's listen to some more. What you got to say?
No, I was just saying, with the Maduro thing. So it started off in August of 2017 or 2019, excuse me, when he put a restriction and blocked Venezuela oil exports to the U.S. So like I said, he's been mad at Maduro. He's been mad at this man. He hates the fact that he could. And then you hear what he said, HQ? He said, now the U.S. is going to run Venezuela. What?
But see, here's the thing. Right here, Marco Rubio is backtracking from that. in this interview, he's backtracking from that. President Trump said, "We're going to run Venezuela." And then he turned around and looked at Marco. Marco was like, "Oh, hell no." How is that going to work? See, this is what I'm saying. Maduro had second in command. He had a he had a vice president. He had a secretary. He had all these people, right? These people would have been done overthrown him if they wanted to. They didn't overthrow him. So they wanted what was going on. Those people that are still there wanted what was going on. So why didn't you take all of those people out? Why you didn't take all them people out?
Because he wants a war. And this is how I feel about other countries. Y'all are being weak to America. Fight America. Give them what they asking for, and you guys would win. America is just one country on its own. Compared to 50 plus more countries, come on. I feel like other countries are afraid of America for what I don't know. Because when it comes to transporting, we receive more than we export. So we really need other countries more than they need us. They just need us for iPhones and maybe the American dollar. But it's really not that serious. I just feel though other countries are being weak. If Trump is going to get their leader, he's asking for war. That's what he wants, HQ. And I feel like they should give it to him.
See, I think that the what is it? Who the hell is that? Putin. I think Putin is the one that he's trying to provoke, but he really don't want. Why wouldn't he tell Putin that he was going into Venezuela? Why wouldn't he say anything to Putin? Hey, Pan-African. Hey, Mulattism. Hey.
Peace. Much love to the panel. How y'all doing? And Happy New Year, too.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Better be.
What you got to say on the subject?
Well, I'll try to keep it brief just for the flow of the conversation, but I will say this, and I'm not saying it to trigger anyone. I actually agree with the U.S. invasion of Venezuela because Venezuela has literally shipped tons of fentanyl and opioids into the U.S. through Mexico, which have killed potentially millions of Americans, specifically Black Americans. Actions have consequences. So I'm not against the U.S. invading Venezuela. Actually, I support the U.S. taking Venezuela and turning it into a U.S. territory comparable to a Puerto Rico.
And
Seriously.
y'all gonna get mad that the Mexicans are coming here and taking all the jobs. First off, it has nothing to do with Venezuela and drugs because America makes their own drugs too. It's the false perception that America is just God given when it's not. It's Satan taken. That's what it is. But drugs has nothing.
Don't be. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying drugs is not just a Venezuela thing. And if it is, best believe we're making deals with them like America is making deals with the cartel. You know, they only show you guys what they want to see.
And my point still stands. Since Venezuela is complicit in sending tons of opioids to the U.S., which have taken the lives of Americans, I have no problem. Actually, I support the U.S. conquering Venezuela, acquiring Venezuela, and making Venezuela a U.S. territory.
What about Cuba, though? What about Cuba?
I would not be against that either. Really.
I mean, he said it in that press conference that Cuba need to be nervous.
And it's about, and I want to address what Tyranny said, a small part of what she said, because this is about geopolitics. Now, when I ask you all, this is rhetorical because I suspect I already know the answer. You all, and if I'm wrong, interrupt me. You have no problem with immigrants coming to the U.S. and becoming the majority in U.S. cities and states. You have no problem with that. So, comparably, there is no issue with the U.S. taking over foreign nations. Really, there's no problem with that because we have opened the door for them to come into our country, so they must open the door for us to come into their countries. Really.
We can go into their countries. I've been to Colombia, Guatemala. We can go in their countries. We have no problem with that.
And more of us are going down to their countries every day.
And we're already there. You know, and like someone in the chat said, well, leave. I'm from here. You guys know that, right? A lot of blacks, so-called blacks, what you people call us, we're from here. Maybe you guys should go back where you come from and everything would be perfectly fine. But because the white man, the European man, the Caucasus man wants to come over here and take over people's territory, then you want to start war for people trying to take back their own territory. America is the problem. And America will always be the problem if we allow America to think that they are the only country that really matters. And I mean, think about this. Hold on, Pan. Imagine this, right? We're already putting ICE out there talking about, oh, you look like an illegal, so let me lock you up. Now we're starting war with Hispanic countries? Nah, something ain't right.
Right.
Can I ask you, don't you see that this is a natural response to being flooded with opioids from a Hispanic nation?
You don't think America is going to make their own opioids?
Now, I'm going to answer your question if you're able to answer mine, just so we don't talk past each other. Don't you realize that it is a natural response for the U.S. to invade a particular nation that has flooded us with tons of opioids that have killed citizens of our nation?
America killed their own citizens with COVID-19 shots. Like, you
I'm not,
really think that
but
America
that's a
is over there
deflection, though, sis.
because
I'm
of
not
drugs?
disagreeing with that. But let's have an organized discussion, and
Or
let's not.
you don't have to say all that. I'm answering your talking. I'm answering your talking. Okay.
Yes, but you're not answering the question I asked you, though. With all due respect,
I'm
I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
asking,
Ask your question.
since Venezuela specifically has flooded the U.S. with tons of fentanyl, which has taken the lives of U.S. citizens, particularly Black Americans of your own ethnicity, don't you understand that a natural response would be for the U.S. government to invade Venezuela?
Yeah, I don't agree with the drugs. If someone puts a rat in my face, do I have to eat it? Look, if Black Americans want to choose to do drugs because somebody put it in their face, that's their problem. That is not the problem of other people putting it in our
But
city.
you didn't answer the question. I'm
I
asking, do
did
you
answer
realize
the
that this is a
question.
natural
I don't
response?
agree with that though.
Yeah,
I
Whether
don't
you agree or not, don't you realize that this is a natural response?
yeah,
Whether
but
you agree or not.
you made the assertion that Venezuela is bringing fentanyl over here, and I have to disagree with that. They're bringing over cocaine, but not fentanyl. That's not a
Well, it's
Venezuelan.
actually both. It's actually both. And I'm glad you brought up the cocaine as well.
The cocaine is that's the main drug that comes from Venezuela. It's cocaine. It's not fentanyl.
And I'm glad you said that. So even if we just talk about cocaine, cocaine has taken the lives of potentially millions of Americans. Don't you understand that it's a natural response for the U.S. to invade the nation where the cocaine came to America from?
That's if they're doing what this particular. See, here's the thing. My stand is this: they don't care about the coke crack. They don't care whether that floods the United States and kills people or not. The Trump regime don't care about that. I don't know why we have a conversation about that. They don't care about that because he wouldn't be pardoning drug dealers if that was the case.
No,
He don't,
HQ.
he
The reason
don't
that I
care
bring it
about
up
that at all.
is
He
because
don't,
it's a pretext. But don't you understand that the narcotics that Venezuela ships to the U.S. are being used as the pretext for the U.S. to invade Venezuela and take their resources, such as their oil? Don't you
yeah,
understand that?
I understand
All
it.
right. So we have to address the pretext.
But we don't care. They don't care about that. They
No, I'm
don't
not even asking if they care, because if we bring up caring, do you think that Venezuela cares about the U.S. citizens that have died from the fentanyl that they ship to us?
Do you
No.
think? Oh my gosh!
But
Do
hold
you
on,
think?
but let
I'm
HQ
saying
answer that
to
though.
you, but I'm saying to you that no, they don't care one way or the other. I'm saying
Exactly.
we don't. I'm saying we don't. The Trump administration doesn't care about that at all. It's not even about the oil or about the fentanyl or about the cocaine. It was never about any of those things. Those are side products. Those are side issues that we don't even need to discuss. People get caught up in that drug and this, that, and the third, but they don't care. They have no plan. They only wanted to get rid of Maduro. It has nothing to do with anything else. The oil is a side thing, but that's a good thing because now Donald Trump can say, "I gave my friend some oil," but he don't care about no cocaine. That was just a ruse to get
And
us to be on the radar of killing people in those boats. It was
And they,
just
and
Hold on,
HQ.
man. Hold on,
Oh,
man.
my bad. Go ahead, Tyranny. Go ahead.
the
I'll go
Trump
after you.
administration don't care about they don't care about that coke or the fentanyl or nothing else. So it's not even a discussion. They don't
Now,
care.
I looked it up. I'm looking it up. And I looked up on Chat GPT where fentanyl comes from. It says the chemicals you actually come from China.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
it's the
they go from China to Venezuela to
right. No,
Mexico
no, no, no,
into
no.
the U.S.
You're pushing Venezuela. But now
Exactly. They
you
come from
yeah,
China
it
to
comes from
Venezuela.
China. Okay, but you didn't say that. You
Yes,
said Venezuela. It's the attack on the Hispanic.
exactly. It comes from China to Venezuela to Mexico
The
into the
Okay,
man,
but you
U.S.
didn't blame China. You said you blame Venezuela.
the
No, I
man.
blame all parties, but right now we're talking about Venezuela because they got
No,
bombed by the U.S.
Venezuela. That's not the drug that comes from Venezuela.
All right,
Cocaine is what comes from Venezuela. It's
but
not
all
no
right.
cocaine.
Respectfully, Tyranny just pulled up the Chat GPT and it confirms that fentanyl is being trafficked through Venezuela into Mexico into the U.S.
You
Okay,
But
said
the
so why
point
we
is
can't
this.
bomb China
My
then?
bad. Let Tyranny go because I want to get in after her. Go ahead, sis.
No, I'm asking why we can't bomb China. Are you in agreement with us bombing China then?
I'm gonna be honest. If the U.S. military was to take actions against China, I would not be against it. Now, I do also admit that the stakes would be much higher because they are a nuclear power, but I would not be against the U.S. taking military action or any type of action retaliatorily against China for flooding us with opioids and the COVID pandemic. I would not be against it. But let me make the point that I was trying to make. Are y'all able to hear me?
yeah, we got it.
Yes, the
Yeah.
point I was trying to make is
Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me read this. Let me read this. What it says is Mexico is the primary source of fentanyl that enters United States. Chinese supplies the precursor chemicals, the ingredients. China supplies the ingredients, but it's Mexico that basically puts the fentanyl here in the United States. There's no credible evidence that Venezuela is a major source or primary source of fentanyl to the United States. That is not what the Venezuela brings over here. Venezuela traffics cocaine.
yes, even with the cocaine. That's why I conceded that point, so we don't get lost on a tangent. Even
Mhm.
with cocaine, undoubtedly, potentially, millions of Americans have lost their life due to the cocaine epidemic. So my
Right.
point is, since Venezuelans collectively, they are not remorseful. They have not paid reparations. They have not compensated Americans for flooding us with cocaine that has taken the lives of Americans. Why should we even care? Why should we be sympathetic
What?
that
What about
Oh,
people
so
that
their
you're
president
asking
has been
why
taken out of office?
you're asking why we should be
But
sympathetic
at least could someone answer the question?
to the Venezuelan people? Why should we be sympathetic to the Venezuelan people? Is that what you're asking? Why should we
My
be
bad, I
sympathetic?
missed that.
No, I'm saying you're asking why should we be sympathetic for the
Yeah, did I
Venezuelan?
go out or did y'all go out? It might have been my phone.
You went out.
Yeah,
You went
why
out.
should we even care? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, why should we even care when
Right.
they're responsible for the deaths of literally millions of our own people? Why should we
Yeah,
care
but
about their fate?
I'm gonna be very blunt, and it might offend people. I care about America first. I don't care
Yes,
about
man.
another country before America. So no, if you put it into that context, I'm not so concerned about Venezuela because they could have overthrown their government years ago, but they didn't. Two,
Yes, man.
two, I'm concerned about the fact that a bunch of constitutional things were broken in the chasing of this leader of another country. This president broke a bunch of protocols. I'm concerned about those protocols that were broken. Yes, I care about the Venezuelan people as a humanitarian, of course. But in the big, bold range of things, no. The way I look at it is, why are we over there in their country worried about somebody else's regime? We don't care about your regime. We don't care about that. We would have did something years ago if we cared about that. So Venezuela is great. It's fine that we did that. the freedom of the people, it ain't no freedom of the people. Nothing is going to change in that country. So therefore, it don't need to be on my radar. This is the whole point of this video with Marco Rubio. They're not going to change the regime in that country. They just went to get Maduro. Nothing is going to change. That's it. They're going to go over there and talk to these people and say, hey, we can come get you when we want to. We want the oil. That's it. We don't give a damn about your regime change. We don't care whether you suppress the people. We're not doing none of that. That's what they're doing. Okay. So
Yes, and that's a good point.
going
My bad.
somewhere else with it, but us going somewhere else with it, there's no need to worry about whether I care about them or not. Nothing is going to change for them because the administration did nothing to change. They didn't take care of the second man, third man, fourth man. They didn't do anything. So nothing is
Yes.
going to.
And actually, that's a great point. One thing that I do want to speak about is the U.S. taking the resources away from Venezuela.
Mhm.
Number one, I definitely support this because you have Venezuelans in the U.S. legally and illegally. They are usurping resources within the U.S. So
Mhm.
it's only right that the U.S. usurp resources from Venezuela, really. And I say that with no emotions,
No,
no
what
sympathy.
There's
Venezuela
Americans in
over?
Venezuela illegally. Do you care about that? Why
Mhm.
do you guys keep
No,
putting
hold on, sir.
emphasis
I literally just said that. What I'm saying is, since Venezuelans are in the U.S. illegally, then
Mhm.
yes, there should be Americans in Venezuela illegally. I have no problem with that.
Mhm. I'm saying to you that we can have concern about Venezuela. I have concern about Venezuela as a human being. I'm pissed off that the United States won't go in there and pop their government up and do what they got to do to help those people. With that regard, yes, I concern myself with the people in Venezuela, but I know the American government is not going to do that. I'm going to worry and be pissed off for no reason because they're not going to do that. Otherwise, they would have did it. Now, to the winner goes the spoils. The spoils is
Yes.
oil. So they got the oil. They get the spoils. It's the way that it is. It's always been that way. That country allowed themselves to get took over by the United States. They didn't resist. There was no reason to resist. Donald Trump told Maduro, "Do you want to go in exile? We will exile you from Venezuela, and then you can live the rest of your life on an island in Turkey if you want to." Maduro said no. So they went and snatched his ass up. That's what happened.
Yes, as they should have.
So so they left all of the things still in place over there, except the threat that the United States can go over there and touch them when they want to. That's the only thing that's going on with that. I hate it for the people. The people were joyous and they were happy and they were doing X, Y, and Z. But they don't. But the United States government ain't got no intention of going over there to save nobody. They ain't over there to save nobody.
and it's all the crimes or treason that
Mhm.
Donald Trump has done. Do
Mhm.
you agree then, Penn, as well, that people should come and snatch him?
And
Hey,
I want to
hey.
answer your question, but oh my bad, somebody else trying to get in.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought somebody else was trying to get in, and
That was
I noticed that this is a conditioned reflex of Americans when we criticize other nations for the atrocities that they have committed against us.
Mhm.
We have a conditioned response to say, well, some of us do each other bad too. Even other Americans have done this crime, this crime, this crime. With all due respect, I don't have ADHD. I'm able to focus on the topic at hand. So
But that
yes,
is the
since
topic at
Venezuela,
hand.
let me
Right.
land my plane. Let me land
Yeah,
my
but
plane.
don't be insulting.
Since I'm not trying to insult you, since let's not be emotional or contentious. My point is, since Venezuela is complicit in trafficking narcotics to the U.S., that have taken the lives of potentially millions of Americans, I have no problem with their president being captured by the U.S., and I have no problem with their country being invaded by the U.S. I actually support the U.S. turning Venezuela into a U.S. territory. I have no sympathy for them. They have no sympathy for us.
Okay, and all Americans are going to do is have these people. If they, I don't know, if he's going to start allowing Venezuelans to come to America then, because if America takes over that territory and makes it American territory, then you're going to have Venezuelans flood and come over here because now they're considered Americans, right?
And more of us will be able to go down there without a
So,
passport or a
but y'all don't
visa.
want to go to
Hold
Venezuela
on, but
because
sis, please
hold on,
don't
I'm not done
interrupt me. I'm
talking.
trying to.
Thank you. A lot of y'all
You
don't
asked
want
me
to
a
go to
question,
Venezuela. Hold on, let me
sis.
finish talking, Pan.
You asked
Calm
me a
down. Calm
question.
down. I did. It
I'm
was
calm.
rhetorical. It was
Oh, it's
rhetorical.
rhetorical. All right, go
Yes.
ahead.
Okay. A lot of y'all don't want to go to these Latin America countries because you're snooty and you think you're better than these people, anyways. So when Trump opens up this, if he does, this is just a dictator thing. If he says, "Oh, okay, we're going to take over now, and this is now American territory," then Venezuelans are able to come over here. But I asked you that question because if you agree that this Maduro is doing bad and he's selling drugs over here and killing our people, then you have to also agree that Trump is going over there to territories he don't belong and throwing bombs over there to people and making rules and restrictions on trade. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
let
asking
me
you.
respond. Let me
I'm
respond.
gonna let you.
Number one, I'm in Puerto Rico right now. I have no problem with Latinos. Do you hear that salsa music behind me? Are you able to hear that? I'm in
No.
Latin America right now. I have no problem with Latinos. Number two, as far as making Venezuela a U.S. territory, it will benefit U.S. Americans because we can go to Venezuela with no visa, no passport. We will not be able to get deported, and we will be able to start businesses and buy real estate without any issues. Now,
That's not
as
what I
far
said.
as well, sis, allow me to respond to each part, and that's the
But
thing.
that's not what I said. I
You could
said
have
you
went.
guys should not have a problem with these dirty Mexicans coming over here to America, right? Because you're already concerned with the Mexicans over here if they're legal or not.
Let me respond to that part too, and that's why it's better if we go point for point instead of you trying to give me a whole diatribe to respond to at one time. So let's go point for point. As far as Mexico, I actually support the U.S.
Mexico.
turning Mexico.
Didn't say
I
anything
sup-
about Mexico either, but okay.
You just said Mexico. You're dyslexic. You literally just.
Venezuela. I said because you guys think they're all Mexicans. You think Guatemalans are
That means you
Mexicans.
brought
You
up
think
Mexico,
Haitians are
sis.
Mexicans. You think they're
Please
all
control yourself.
Mexicans.
Have some decorum, please, sis. Let me respond to what you actually said.
Don't be
All right, but allow me to respond to what
disrespectful.
you
I'm
actually said,
asking
though.
you again. I only asked you one question. You talk about bullet points. I asked you one question.
And
And that one
will you allow me
question
to respond
was,
to your one
are
question?
you, if you answer one
All right, go
question,
ahead.
and that one question, uno, porque tú es en Puerto Rico, see? Okay, so I
Exactly.
asked you one question, and that
Exactly.
is, are you okay with people doing to Trump what Trump is doing to other people for all of the things he's done to other countries? See or no?
All right. I'm not supportive of any foreign nation coming to our nation and kidnapping anyone. If we have problems within our nation, it's our obligation to solve our problems ourselves. And let me address the previous points that you just said that you tried to skip over. Additionally, as far as Mexico, I support the U.S. government turning Mexico into a U.S. territory because of the number of Mexicans that have legally and illegally invaded the U.S. So, no, I have no problem with Latinos. But my point is, since they are in our countries, we must be in theirs. Can't you understand that?
Tú comprende que tú dices, my nigga. I heard what you said, but you are not American.
Yes.
Americans are American, and majority of them are Caucasians. The
All right.
Caucasian race, because I know you're half of it, the
Yes.
Caucasian race will not be okay with Venezuelans coming over here. You talk about us going over there, bro. That's never been an issue. The issue is bringing them over here. So, like HQ said, what we don't really understand why Trump is doing this. Even the lady said that the host on this podcast is saying this. What is the reason? We're not understanding what is the point on taking Maduro, capturing him, and saying now the U.S. is going to be over Venezuela. It doesn't make
Yes,
any sense.
let me allow me to respond to that, please. You said that the whites don't want Latinos in the U.S. Don't you understand that it's already millions of Latinos in the U.S.? So my point still stands. Since Latinos legally and illegally have entered the U.S., it's only right for the U.S. to enter Latin America and acquire Latin American nations as U.S. territories. It's an eye for an eye. Simple concept in the
But
Bible.
you just said you don't agree with an eye for an eye.
When did I say that,
That's what you
sis?
just said to me. I just said, so is
All
it
right,
okay for us
let's
to
get
do
a
that to
moderator.
Trump?
Let's ask the
You
moderator.
said, no,
HQ.
let me finish.
Oh
I
no,
said,
I'm sorry.
is it okay for people to do that to Trump? And you said, I don't think small-minded like that. Now you're saying you
That's
agree
not what I
with eye
said,
for an
sis.
eye.
No, what I said verbatim was, I don't support any foreign nation kidnapping or capturing any U.S. citizen. If we have members of our own society that have committed infractions, it is our obligation to hold them accountable. Can you understand that, sis?
I heard what you said, and it's not what you said. You said you don't support us doing, oh, just because he did it, we should do it. That's exactly what you said, sir. But we're
You
gonna
can rewind the tape,
you
sis. I didn't say that.
you're because you're pro America. I'm not,
Yes,
and I think
yes,
we already understand
yes.
that. So instead of you trying to be
But
hostile,
aren't you American? Why are
cutting
you
me
against
off.
your own
Why are you
country?
cutting me off? Why
You
are you
cut
cutting
me
me off?
off multiple times. Let's
I know
have
how
a
to put a
dialogue.
period into my sentence, though. I really do.
I know, but you cut me off multiple times. Let's not be
I have it. I'll
contentious.
let you finish because I put myself on mute. And then as soon as I start talking because you don't agree with me, you cut me off.
That's not true. You're delusional, but go ahead, sis.
And you're mixed with Caucasian. Go ahead, HQ. You go ahead and finish the video.
Hold on, let me finish the video.
Indicted are
American
still,
system of courts.
the others who are also indicted are still in place. So that's the point of my questioning there. But you talked about not being the legitimate
So you wanted
president.
us to land in 5 other military bases?
No, I'm asking why
Hold
you
on, y'all.
chose that this was the limit of the military operation. But to your point that you just made, that
Well, because
that Maduro was not the legitimate president.
He was the guy who was claiming to be the president.
Right. Well, the
He was the
opposition.
top target.
Okay. The opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado and Mundo Gonzalez, won that 2024 election by your own account. They were some of the first people you called when you were Secretary of State. You said Mundo Gonzalez is the rightful president of Venezuela. Is that still the U.S. policy? And if so, are you working on a transition to have those elected leaders run the country?
Well, I think a couple things. I have tremendous admiration for Maria Corina Machado. I have admiration for Edmundo. We have all those views about what the election that happened the last time, and not only us, but many other countries around the world. There's that. And there's the mission we are on right now. We have been very clear from the beginning, because I still think that a lot of people analyze everything that happens in foreign policy through the lens of what happened from 2001 to 2015 or 16. The whole, foreign policy apparatus thinks everything is Libya, everything is Iraq, everything is Afghanistan. This is not the Middle East. And our mission here is very different. This is the Western Hemisphere. Within the Western Hemisphere, we have a country, potentially a very rich country, that has cozied itself up under the control of this regime, has cozied up to Iran, has cozied up to Hezbollah, has allowed narco trafficking gangs to operate with impunity from their own territory, allows boats with drugs to traffic from their territory. And we are addressing that. And by the way, 9 million people in the largest mass migration event in modern history have left that country since 2014.
But that regime is still in
having
place.
An impact on.
Yeah, he don't have no intention of answering that question, because the real truth is they are going to, like I told y'all, they going to leave that group of people in charge of Venezuela. They're going to keep the threat over their head that we can come in there and get the oil whenever we want to come and get the oil.
Exactly. Basically putting a leash on the dog, as we should.
Right. And then you see, she keeps saying, so y'all just left everybody there that was still in charge. Y'all just took the boss. That don't mean the rest of them ain't bad. And she showed them, and there was what was his name? The other guy that was in charge. There's 2 other bad guys that's right there. So why didn't they take those 2 other bad guys? They didn't. That's what she's trying to say. Y'all not taking everybody. Y'all leaving all of them people there, which means ain't no regime change. They just wanted Maduro. Trump just wanted Maduro out of there, because Trump offered Maduro, what is it called? Exile to Turkey. And Maduro said no. He offered him the exile to Turkey, and he said no, which meant he didn't really want to arrest Maduro. He just wanted him out of regime, out of that country. That's it.
So where's Maduro being held?
Here in New York.
Oh, in New York. Where at? Like, have they told where he's at?
No, they wouldn't do that, because they'd have to fear that somebody would come and try to get him out of there. So,
I'm sorry, go ahead, HQ. I apologize.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
It'll be very brief. And I noticed a lot about Americans, regardless of race, I've noticed that a lot of, particularly descendants of the founders of the U.S., whether that's descendants of U.S. slaves or the whites that are descendants of the founders of the U.S. as well, I
Mm.
notice many of us are anti-American, unapologetically. But I have to ask these same anti-American Americans, these exact countries that you are being the champion of, such as Venezuela, did
Mm.
they not did they not enslave their local blacks? Are their local blacks not the bottom caste of their own country? Are Afro Latinos not statistically more likely to be impoverished? Why are you supportive of these racist nations while you are anti your own nation?
You're in support of the biggest racist nation in the world, which is America. What are you talking about? Like you can't do that. I have traveled, and black people are
But
not
sis,
treated
did you
as
did you
bad as they are over here in America. Why? Because Caucasians are not over there. The
hold on?
moment that
You might not
Caucasians,
have heard
I'm
the
not.
question though,
Oh
sis.
my god.
You
Oh
might
my
not
god.
have heard the question.
Oh
You
my
went down
god.
there as an American
I would
with
have
the U.S.
loved to
dollar.
finish talking though. I
They
would have
treated you
loved.
better because you had the U.S.
They
dollar.
didn't know I was American. I look like
You
them.
when you
I
speak,
look
they know
like
that
them.
you are
They
not
look.
them.
Pan, please
When you
stop
the
cutting
way
me off.
you dress, they know that
Pan,
you are not
Pan,
them.
please
I
stop
live down
cutting
here. They
me
know that you
off.
are not them. So
Pan,
the question
please
is,
stop being feminine and quit cutting me off.
sis, that
Okay,
doesn't work,
like I
sis.
said,
All right, all
they
right.
have. We look
All right,
just
go ahead.
like them, and they look just like us. So racism in Latin America doesn't exist unless you've been over here to America and then you went back to another country, to your country. That's the
Respectfully, that's
only.
a lie. I live down here. You cannot tell me
Are you
nothing.
racist towards blacks?
That's my point. Racism
So
within Latin
yes, you're
America.
racist towards blacks down there.
No, I'm not. But that's
So,
my
so
point.
hold on. So if you're not racist towards blacks,
Uh huh.
why are you saying that then?
Because they are white Latinos, they are racist against black Latinos. Checkmate. That's my point right
But you
there.
ain't
When
checked
you go to any,
nothing. You talk
what,
about white, and you're
all right,
one
go
of
ahead.
them. You're a white. Like, what are
All
you
right, but allow me to
talking about?
finish my sentence though, sis. Really, for the sake of the
Bro,
listeners.
you don't let me finish a single sentence. How
All right, you
dare
go
you?
first. I'll go next. That's all right. Go ahead.
Who's next?
Let Tyranny go because she's going to cut me off when I speak. So let her go,
I don't
please.
have to cut you off. I put myself on mute. You're like you said, you don't understand why we take up for the most racist country, but that's you. Anybody that's sitting here saying, yeah, let's go America, is literally against every other nation that looks anything opposite of Caucasian. And you look like a Caucasian. If we go over there to Venezuela, we will not be put down porque blacks in Venezuela talk Spanish too. You'll never know. If we changed our clothes, you'll never know. So you're in support of a white man being racist in other countries. Why he not doing this in Europe? Why he not doing this in any other Caucasian country? He's only picking on the Hispanic culture. Now you can go.
Yes, and watch how brief my response is because it's not loaded with emotions. I acknowledge that racism exists in the U.S. as well as literally every other nation on earth. This is a fact. My question is, and I will never forget my question, you criticize your own country, the U.S., for being racist, while you are the champion of Venezuela, which is also a very racist nation where the Afro Latinos are the bottom caste. They have a history of slavery against the Afro Latinos. They have not had one black Afro Latino Venezuelan president. They have all either been white Latinos or mixed race. My question is, how can you be racist against your own nation? Pardon me. How can you be against your own nation for being racist while simultaneously cheerleading for another racist nation? Pardon me. That's the question.
This nation, this is not my nation. My people were here, and then the caucus came and took over my land. Now I'm being forced to be called black along with some of the other people that came off the boat from Africa.
That
I'm
happened
being
in
looked at.
Venezuela too, though.
Oh my God. So people in the chat, y'all sit here and say he don't
That
cut me
happened in
off, right?
Venezuela too.
And he
That's why
won't
they
stop
speak
cutting me
Spanish.
off. It's crazy. It's just
They speak
amazing.
Spanish because they were invaded by the whites.
This is amazing.
So with all due respect, how can you
No,
support
you
them
don't have no
even though
respect.
they're racist, but you're against your own nation? That's all I'm asking.
My nation is the people of the Most High God. Even if you niggas look like me, at the end of the day, y'all gonna do what you want to do. I'm
Oh,
not.
you're
I'm not pro.
delusional. I
I'm
get
not
it. I
pro
get it.
nothing. I damn sure not pro Caucasian like you.
But you're
That's
pro
why
Venezuela, right?
you don't have no respect. Come on
You're
now.
pro Venezuela.
I'm not. I'm anti Trump. That ain't
But
mean
you're
I'm pro
cheerleading for
Venezuela.
Venezuela right now, though, sis.
No, you're cheerleading for your daddy Trump. That's what you're doing.
No,
That's what
actually,
you're
it's a
doing.
lot of things
You
I
come over
disagree with
here
Trump
and you
about.
want to question me and HQ on why we're questioning another Caucasian male going to a country that he don't belong in, taking their leader, and for
Yes,
what?
and Maduro's not black. Checkmate. Why are
I
you
didn't say
cheerleading for
Maduro
him?
was black. What are you
So why
talking
are you
about?
cheerleading for him? Is the question.
¿Tú comprendes English or no? Do we need to speak in Spanish? Do
Do
we
you
need to
speak
speak in
English? I'm
Spanish?
asking. Why are
Do
you
you?
cheerleading for Maduro and he's not black?
Bro, I know stuff about Maduro, but I never said I was cheering for this guy. Where you
Actually, you
been
are.
at?
Let the Hispanics deal with their
Okay,
own
girl.
issues.
Go ahead, HQ. I'm
But
not
Yeah,
we're
let
finna
not.
them deal with
argue with
their
black
own
But
women.
the
issues. You
thing
don't got to
is,
cheerlead for them.
we're not championing Maduro per se. What we're saying is, did we even need to go over there and invade that country? Why did we feel the need to do that if you're not going to do anything with the country? If you're not going to do anything with the country, see, if you're going to do something with the country, then go ahead and do it because we can't stop you. You already went in there, you already did what you had to do. But make it better if you're going to go over there and do what you're going to do. But they're not going to make it better. That's why I object to them going over there because they are going over there and not doing anything. Nothing
And
is.
HQ.
Yeah.
HQ. And I rather had a dialogue with you because I respect you. You
Well,
have
then
a
stop
sense.
coming on my panel.
You
If
have
you
a sense
don't
of.
respect me,
Oh my
do not
God.
come up on
I
my
didn't say I
panel
didn't
no
respect you.
more, bro.
I didn't
Nah,
say I
done.
didn't
Don't come up
respect
on
you.
my panel.
Please.
You're blocked. Go ahead, HQ. Go
All
ahead,
right.
bro.
I wasn't trying to say I didn't disrespect you, but HQ, you have a sensible tone. I want to respond to what you just said. The reason that it's imperative that
Mhm.
the U.S. invade Venezuela is to literally put the leash on the dog. It's very essential. They have let too many narcotics flood into our country, killed too many of our people, and additionally, if you're trying to be buddy buddy with China and China the ops, no, we got to put the leash on you, man. You trying to be buddy buddy with Hezbollah and Hezbollah the ops? No, we got to put this leash on you. So, like
Okay,
I
Yes,
yeah,
said,
the same leash
then
that
we
they
got
put
the
on
money.
blacks, but you're pro-America. The same leash that they
yes,
put
I'm
on
pro
black
America.
people, but you're pro-America.
I'm
The
pro
same
America.
system
Yes,
that put black people down, but you're pro-America.
I'm pro
The same
America.
system
Yes,
that tell black people that you got to have a 700 credit score just to own a home, but you're pro-America.
yes, I'm pro
What are you
America.
talking about? You said on my panel not too long ago that you really consider yourself a Caucasian. You rather side
Show the
with the
clip.
Caucasian than your black side,
All
bro.
right,
What
well,
are you
show the
talking
clip.
about?
Show the clip, then,
What are
sis.
you talking? I
But
don't have to show nothing. You know
let me
what you
respond
are.
to what
You're
you
a
just said.
caucus man, and you're taking up for your
All right.
caucus daddy Trump. Stop playing
But
with me.
let's have a sensible discussion. I want to respond to what you just
We
said.
have. Do you understand English? So we having a sensible
Yeah, let
conversation.
me
I'm
respond to
not
what you
going to
just
sit up
said.
here and let no white man sit up here and tell two black women that we should be pro-America when America
All right.
has taken away our sons and killed our children. What are you talking about?
Venezuela did the same
I
thing
don't
to
know.
the black Venezuelans. Checkmate.
I don't
But
know
let me
nothing about
respond to HQ
China.
though.
I don't know nothing about their language, nothing about their people. But do you think it's okay that he
You
goes
should
over there
learn
and
what they have
kills these
done.
people? No,
They're
it's wrong.
anti-black. But let me respond to what you said. Really, for the sake of the listeners.
You've been talking
Now,
more than
you
money.
brought up a lot of the anti-black policies in the U.S. And I agree, we need to eradicate these racist policies. That is a fact. But that will not make me treasonous against the nation that my ancestors founded. Do you understand that? We have to clean our house up, not tear our house down and try
Right.
to go to our neighbor's house and expect them to let us in. No, we had to just fix our house, really.
Right.
Don't chili for your neighbors, chili for your own family.
Well, I mean, we're not saying we're anti-American. I'm not saying I'm anti-American in any way.
But
I'm
Tyranny said that though. That's why I was addressing her. But I respect your point of view, HQ. So I'm not accusing you of that. No.
Then stop coming on my panel, bro. I don't understand what you're doing. I don't. You know I
Why
don't
are
like
you in your
America. Why would I
emotions,
like
sis?
a country
Please,
that
sis.
went into my people and said that, hey, now you're all one just because we have the same skin color?
The
Why would
same
I
thing happened in
respect a
Venezuela,
country
sis.
that literally tell us in our face that we don't like y'all and y'all at the bottom of the barrel?
Do you
The
understand more
Venezuela
slaves
has
were
never.
sent?
I have never seen Venezuela do that. What are we talking
Hold on,
about?
but do you realize more slaves were sent to Latin America than the U.S.? Checkmate.
Yes, we were. What are you checking?
Okay, so
Are you
these
on crack?
countries are
Are you
also
mad?
racist.
Are you one of those people that was on crack? Like, what are you talking about? What do I care about?
So I'm
What the hell?
asking, why are you cheerleading for
America
racist
is way worse
nations?
than Venezuela. Sir, stop cutting me off.
How can you
America
measure
is,
that?
sir, stop cutting me off. America is way worse than Venezuela. Period. America don't like nobody that ain't caucus, bro.
Watch
So like I
this.
said, and we have negative
Watch this.
history.
America had a
Oh my
black president.
God, why are
Venezuela
you
never had a black
cutting me
president.
off though?
Venezuela had a black.
Me off, girl?
But please calm your tongue, please.
Girl, stop cutting
You're
me off.
making this a difficult discussion.
Stop cutting me off.
Hold on.
Now, Venezuela never had any black presidents. The U.S. has, though.
Homosexual. You keep cutting me off, bro. It's the LGBTQ vibe, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, but the U.S. had a black president. Venezuela never did.
He wasn't black. He was exactly what you were, and he felt with his white side just like you.
Venezuela never even did that. Checkmate. Checkmate. What's the equivalent to Barack Obama in Venezuela?
When you spoke yesterday,
but we're not just addressing the regime. We are addressing the factors that are a threat to the national interest of the United States.
Understood. You spoke with Delcy Rodriguez, who is now, according to President Trump, sworn in as the president, as the leader of Venezuela. Did she promise you that she is expelling all those American adversaries from Venezuelan territory? What exactly did she agree to do when she spoke to you?
We are going to, our objectives when it comes to how Venezuela impacts the national interest of the United States have not changed, and we want those addressed. We want drug trafficking to stop. We want no more gang members to come our way. We don't want to see the Iranian and, by the way, Cuban presence in the past. We want the oil industry in that country not to go to the benefit of pirates and adversaries of the United States, but for the benefit of the people. We want to see all of that happen. We insist on seeing that happen.
Did she
and
promise
we are
that?
going to work to continue to see that happen. Well, right now, we are going to see what happens moving forward. Let me just say that. I'm not obviously going to have these conversations in the media. These are delicate and complicated things that require mature statesmanship, and that's what we intend to do. But
you notice he ain't committing to anything that she's asking him. She didn't ask him 2-3 different questions about, so you guys plan on taking control of the country. I would have more respect for him if they said, look, we know you got a shitty ass country. We know that you messed up with your oil. You mismanaged your country. You mismanaged the economy. I can understand I'd have more respect for them if they said, oh no, we finna take over this whole country and we finna get that oil up and running and we're gonna make sure that the people are good.
I agree with you, HQ. I really want to see them be forthcoming with the plan as well, but I can understand why they are not being forthcoming with the plan, because you have literally millions of anti-American Americans that will be in the streets crying about Venezuela, throwing
Who's
temper
Hugo
tantrums.
Chavez? Who's Hugo Chavez?
He was the leader before. He was the leader.
What race was he? What race was he?
He was a triple breed.
Oh, he was you. Exactly. So they had a black man over there, just like they had a black man over here.
Are you able to pull his picture up? He was not black. Checkmate. He was not black.
You're weird. Like I said,
back to the point, though.
But I don't understand why you keep cutting me off.
Please stop interrupting. Sis, please.
Sir. Okay, HQ, I really did come up here for you, and then this girl came up here, so I'll be back whenever she leaves, okay?
My God.
Thanks, HQ.
All right, sis. Peace. I really don't understand what that was about, to be real with you. But and I'm not saying this about her in particular when I say this. You have literally millions of anti-American Americans that are really devastated when they see the U.S. exercising our strength against nations that have attempted to exercise their strength against us. Really, she wasn't that. And when I say this, I'm saying it with all due respect, because I know she's not here to defend herself, but she wasn't throwing temper tantrums when millions of Americans was dying because of the coke epidemic. Really, she wasn't just angry at Venezuela or Colombia or Mexico, or angry at any of their cartels for literally taking the lives of millions of American U.S. citizens, particularly Black Americans, her own ethnicity. And this is the problem that I see rampant within the Black American community. We will cheerlead for people that have not only caused us harm, but they are unapologetic about it. Which Latin America, and I really mean what I'm about to say. We lean on the white man and say, listen, you owe us reparations. And they do. That's a fact. Which Latin American nation has come to Black America and said, listen, we owe y'all reparations for the amount of lives that we have taken from y'all due to these narcotics that we ship to your communities? Not one.
I don't think that's going to happen. I mean,
that's my point. So why do we cheerlead for them? Why do we care about what's going on with them?
Let them fight. Cheerlead.
No, I'm not saying, HQ, please don't get triggered by that, because I'm not saying you as an individual.
I'm not triggered by that.
All right.
I already explained to you what my position is. I don't
exactly. So I wasn't talking about you though, HQ.
I don't know what position that you're expressing that is similar to it's not similar to what I thought. I am saying it in terms of being America first. I'm not concerned about it. And I thought I made it very clear that the Venezuelan people are incidental. I thought I made that very clear.
Now, HQ, do you realize I wasn't talking about you when I said Americans are cheerleading for Venezuelans?
Yes, Americans are cheerleading for Venezuela. I get all of that. So who are you saying that for?
Thank you. I appreciate you asking me that. I'm talking about the anti-American Americans that are in the streets of New York right now, in the streets of Los Angeles right now, in the streets of DC right now, protesting against the U.S. in favor of Venezuela. That's who I was referring to. And even one of your panelists, who I won't name.
You misinterpret why they're celebrating. No, you misinterpret why they're angry. They're angry because the president did not do what he was supposed to do the right way. The president is doing all of these things against the Constitution. That is why we're having protests. That is not necessarily the protest specifically for Venezuela. This is just a buildup of the things that people have frustrations about this. I
hear you, HQ, and my phone is about to die. Okay. Please allow me to say one sentence. First of all, thanks for having me up. I really enjoyed this dialogue. I want to say one sentence before I drop down. And I'm not even advocating for this, but I'll use a metaphor.
Okay.
If someone, and I mean what I'm about to say, not you as an individual, to the listeners, if someone kills your child, kills your cousin, kills your husband, you may break the law when you retaliate. Does it make it right? It's debatable, but it's a fact. You may break the law. That's all I wanted to say. And thanks for having me up. I gotta charge my phone, but if you still live, in maybe 30 minutes, I might come back if you let me. But much love to you and peace.
Thank you. Now I got this on here. I got this on the screen. Do I know you, Side Life? Do I know you? You want me to drop the link and then you can come up and you show me what intelligence you have around the subject? Because I would love to know. I would love to know. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Please and thank you. We have this content all throughout the day. I appreciate you all showing up. Side Life, you want me to drop the link so you can come up and tell me about myself? Because I would love for you to come up and tell me about myself. Okay? Otherwise, shut your ass up and stay in the comment section. Okay?
But our goals remain the same. The difference is that the person who was in charge, even though not legitimately, in the past was someone you could not work with. We just could not work with him. He is not a person that had ever kept any of the deals he made, broke every deal he ever made a fool out of the Biden administration on the deal they made with him. And we offered him on multiple occasions an opportunity to remove himself from the scene in a positive way. He chose not to do so.
But his number two is now running the country. His number two is someone you can work with. And is that what you're implying here? And did she tell you that she will?
See, the number two tells me that the same regime is there. The same regime is going to stay there. They have no intention of doing anything. They have no intention of changing the regime there. They just want to threaten the regime and say, hey, we can come get y'all when we want to. So we don't want to come get you right now. We just want to make it known that we coming for the oil and we want to put you on notice. But the real thing was Donald Trump just wanted to get rid of Maduro. That was it. No plan, nothing. Because they offered for Maduro to go all the way to Turkey and he could have been on a beach somewhere, laying up naked, butt naked with his box body, and him and his wife, they could have been having a good time over there in Turkey. But he said, nope, I don't want to leave Turkey. You're going to have to drag me up out of here. And sure enough, they dragged him up out of there, dragged him apart, but they left his second in charge. They left all the other terrible actors that are still there, which tells me they have no intention of doing any kind of regime change.
Transition to democracy, and the woman who won the election along with her partner there, Maria Corina Machado.
We are going to make our assessments of people. You're asking me to make an assessment. We're going to make an assessment on the basis of what they do, not what they say publicly in the interim, not what what they've done in the past in many cases. But
I hope y'all not gonna come in here and start talking that dumb shit again. Coast and 6022. That's some dumb shit. Why y'all think this country's economy has done better under Democrats than Republicans? 77 million jobs created under a Democratic rule. 29 million jobs created under a Republican rule. Stop saying the Democrats have messed this country up. The Democrats is what's saving the country. Every time this country gets into a mess, a Democrat has to come and fix it. George Bush got us into the bullshit. Obama straightened it out. Obama had an amazing economy. Donald Trump came in and fucked it up. Biden came in behind Trump, and Biden put us on the right track. And then here come Donald Trump fucking us up again. I don't need to explain this dumb shit. That's all you need to do is go check history. That's what the problem is. Half of y'all don't look at history. You don't look at history. You just be talking. Okay? You just be talking. Okay? Stop talking and go check it out. 77 million, 29 million. Under the Democratic rule, always we have had to come and straighten out this country. Always. But this, I can't explain it to y'all because zombies don't want to read.
What they do moving forward. So we're going to find out. You're asking me, how do I know what decisions people are going to make? I don't. I do know this, that if they don't make the right decisions, the United States will retain multiple levers of leverage to ensure that our interests are protected. Yeah. And that includes the oil quarantine that's in place, among other things. Well, and but we are going to judge moving forward. We're going to judge everything by what they do. And we're going to see what they do.
Okay, because yesterday President Trump said Maria Corina Machado doesn't have the support or respect within the country. And by your own admission, she walloped Nicolas Maduro in the last election. Mm-hmm. So it does sound like a decision was made. But
she wasn't on the ballot in the last election.
No, but her party was.
Edmundo was.
Yes.
Correct.
So
yeah. It was an illegitimate election, and that's why
anybody is welcome to come on the panel and bring their fact that I lied about anything. Bring the fact that we as Democrats may produce 3 times as many jobs as you Republicans. Come on here and dispute it. Please bring your facts. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. We have this content like all throughout the day. It is what it is. The panel is always open. You can always come over here and you can always freaking get up on the panel and start talking. Okay?
He's not a legitimate president.
Right, but is there an agreement to transition to democracy?
I think
it sounds
what
like
the president pointed out is the obvious. Well, I think what the point, but there has to be a little realism here, okay? A transition to they've had this regime, they've had this system of Chavismo in place for 15 or 16 years. And everyone's asking why 24 hours after Nicolas Maduro was arrested, there isn't an election scheduled for tomorrow? That's absurd.
I'm asking what you talked about with her.
These things take time. There's a process.
Right. And you
well, I'm not going to publicly get into details about any of those things other than to tell you that our expectations remain the same. And we are going to judge whoever we're interacting with moving forward by whether or not those conditions are met. Of course, we want to see Venezuela transition.
No, everybody knows when everybody knows that who was the president? Bill Clinton. When Bill Clinton left office, he had a surplus. Tell me I'm lying about that. Who came in after Clinton? Was it junior or was it senior? I think it was junior. Or was it junior or senior? Junior. When George Bush the son, left office, he left a crashing economy. The economy had crashed because of the housing market. And Obama came in and did that 500 million or 500,000 thing that pulled us out of the gutter. Obama did that. Okay. Obama left office with a booming economy. Don't take my word for it. Go find out. Then Donald Trump got into office and the economy went to fuck hell. Then Biden got in there, and Biden put us back on the right track. So don't talk to me about what the Democrats didn't do. Bill Clinton's economy was A1. Everybody said that. Every marker, he balanced the budget, he did everything. Obama came in, he balanced whatever he needed to balance, and he had a surplus when he left. Don't believe nothing I got to say. Just go and check it out. It ain't no absolutely incorrect. Y'all just talking out your ass. That's all. That's all. It don't matter how he got it. Clinton balanced the budget. Obama came in and had a surplus. And then every Republican that is been in between has fucked it up for all of us. 77 million jobs, 29 million on the Republican side. Shut your ass up if you ain't got the facts. I got the facts. And I've read about the history. Stop it. And if you ain't got the facts and you don't know the truth, stop talking, because most of y'all don't know. It ain't no matter of brainwashing. That is fact. It's written in stone. It's written in books. It's written in the economy. Facts are false. Make it make sense. Make this dumb shit right here make sense.
And to be a place completely different than what it looks like today. But obviously, we don't have the expectation that's going to happen in the next 15 hours. What we do have an expectation is that it move in that direction. We think it's in our national interest and, frankly, in the interest of people of Venezuela.
The president used the word oil 20 times in his press conference. You talked about these tremendous oil assets that Venezuela has. But the president's last envoy to Venezuela, Elliot Abrams, is publicly arguing that you know better than the policy you're backing. He said, quote, Venezuelan plutocrats or U.S. oil executives seem to be coming to Mar-a-Lago and whispering about how easy life would be if we just made a deal with the regime once Maduro was gone.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Making a deal once Maduro is gone. It has nothing to do with regime change. They're going to make sure that they get access to the oil. They're going to make sure they got access to everything that they want. Okay? Everything that they want. Okay?
Is that what happened here?
No, that's not what happened here. What happened here is that we arrested a narco trafficker who's now going to stand trial in the United States for the crimes he's committed against our people for 15 years. And the person who helped him, of course, his wife, who was co-located with him, so she was arrested as well. That's what happened here. As far as oil, look, oil is critical, not just to fueling economies all over the world. It's critical to Venezuela's future. Their oil industry is completely destroyed. It's destroyed all those oil fields that used to produce a lot and wealth for their country and their people. Those things are decrepit. They're bankrupt. They need to be reinvested in. It's obvious. They do not have the capability to bring up that industry again. They need investment from private companies who are only going to invest under certain guarantees and conditions. That has to go to the benefit of the Venezuelan people. Right now, all of that wealth is stolen. It's stolen and it goes into the hands of oligarchs around the world and the oligarchs inside of Venezuela. A handful of people benefit from it. The people don't benefit from it. On top of that, it's very simple, okay? In the 21st century, under the Trump administration, we are not going to have a country like Venezuela in our own hemisphere, in the sphere of control and the crossroads for Hezbollah, for Iran, and for every other malign influence in the world. That's just not going to exist.
So he said, "It ain't y'all got to get that up out of here." This is a crucial moment, though. Marco Rubio said the president always retains optionality on anything and on all these matters. So when you already got a framework, you already know what you're doing, your roadmap is clear, or you already got a strategic playbook going on, you don't frame shit as optionality. You frame them as planned policy decisions. There is no plan. There's no clear governance framework for what they gonna do with Maduro after he is left, after they took him out of there. There's no firm commitment for free and fair elections. It's about some other bullshit. I don't know. The fallbacks is flexible options. This is not this. They took him. They just went and got that dude. This tells you more about the U.S. strategy than anything else. When you are forced to highlight optionality, he said the president has the optionality. You are implicitly admitting you don't know exactly what you're doing, or that you're keeping all the goddamn doors open because you haven't settled in a direction yet. Why y'all ain't got no direction? So what we gonna listen to right now, we gonna listen to Hakeem Jeffries. See what he got to say about this shit. Y'all stand with me. Work with me. Work with me. Work with me.
Welcome back. And joining me now is House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York. Leader Jeffries, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. We obviously have to start with the capture and indictment of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. You have called him a, quote, criminal and authoritarian dictator who has oppressed the people of Venezuela for years. Is Venezuela better off without Nicolas Maduro in power?
Well, he's a bad guy, of course, and he's going to stand trial in the American court of law at this particular point in time. It remains to be seen whether the people of Venezuela are going to be better off. Donald Trump claims that he's going to run Venezuela. He's done a terrible job running the United States of America. Life hasn't gotten better for the American people over the last year. Life has gotten worse. He promised to lower the high cost of living. Costs haven't gone down. They've gone up. The healthcare system is broken. Donald Trump refuses to do anything about it to address the Republican healthcare crisis. So the notion that he's going to run Venezuela and make life better for the Venezuelan people, of course, is belied by the facts as to what he's done as president here in the United States of America.
Well, you just heard my conversation with Secretary Rubio. I asked him about the administration's decision not to inform Congress ahead of this operation until President Maduro had been captured.
Right.
Secretary Rubio saying this was not the kind of mission where they could have afforded to notify Congress. There were concerns about leaks. He made that point. President Trump made that point. Was the administration justified in this case in not briefing Congress?
Well, there's been no evidence that the administration has presented to justify the actions that were taken in terms of there being an imminent threat to the health, the safety, the well-being, the national security of the American people. This was not simply a counter-narcotics operation. It was an act of war. It involved, of course, the Delta Force, and we're thankful for the precision by which they executed the operation and thankful for the fact that no American lives were lost. But this was a military action involving Delta Force, involving the Army, apparently involving thousands of troops, involving at least 150 military aircraft, perhaps involving dozens of ships off the coast of Venezuela and South America. So, of course, this was the military action. And pursuant to the Constitution, only Congress has the power to declare war, to authorize acts that take place in this regard. And we've got to make sure when we return to Washington, D.C., that legislative action is taken to ensure that no further military steps occur absent explicit congressional approval.
So notice what Jeffrey does not say. He doesn't defend Maduro. He calls him a criminal, authoritarian dictator, but he also doesn't immediately cheer the United States action without a question. He's planning a distinction between Maduro's guilt and how the U.S. responded. This matters. It shows his focus isn't on Maduro's guilt. He don't care about that. It's on the process and justification for U.S. force. He's trying to box Trump in. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to box him in. Okay. And this and present it as the heart of the constitutional debate, whether Congress should have been told beforehand or not. Okay. Should have been told. Okay. This is the key constitutional moment of the entire interview. Jeffries is saying three things all at once. This wasn't just about a drug bust. He explicitly rejects that, calling it more than a counter-narcotics operation. This is wild, and we're going to see. It's going to play itself out this week.
All right, well, let's talk about when you return to Washington, D.C. One of the big topics at the forefront will of Congress will be, of course, the fight over these Obamacare subsidies. They expired just days ago. The House set to vote on a 3-year.
Yeah, but he's talking about, they're talking about the subsidies for the house. They should have just figured out what they could do to give us health care. This is what we should be fighting for anyway. Okay, he should be fighting for this shit anyway. But it is what it is. He understands Maduro. He understands what's happening. He understands the Constitution is what is at the center of all of this. He doesn't merely disagree politically. He frames it as an act of war, that this president did an act of war. So you're going to see a lot of those chest beating all this week, so that we can see, is the Republicans going to do anything? What he did in this interview was not just disagreement, okay? He took the constitutional stand that he should have took as the House second in the House. He should have said that. By calling it an act of war, he invoked Congress's exclusive constitutional authority to authorize military force, something that's been under serious debate since Iraq and Afghanistan rear. But see, here's the thing. Trump has pulled it to the forefront. Calling it an act of war isn't just words that he's saying. It's triggering, I think it's a legal and institutional question about who gets to decide when America goes to war. But see, Trump has been pulling all the power into that executive department, and people have been allowing him to do that. That's why so many other people, Democrats and Republicans, are now demanding a congressional oversight and even potential war powers legislation. This moment is wild. It's not about Venezuela. It's more about whether we are giving that president too many powers. Okay? Because the foundation of American constitutional authority needs these checks and these balances. So we need to figure out, are we going to let this stuff continue to go? Is it going to be okay for this president to pull powers that should be in Congress's hands back into the executive hands? Or are we going to flex ourselves and say, no, we can't allow him to take these plans? The first step is going to be if the Supreme Court comes back and says, nah, bro, you can't be doing that tariff shit. That tariff shit is Congress's job. Nah, bro, you can't be declaring war on a country, and that's Congress's job. This is where we at. This is, if not a constitutional crisis now, when is there a constitutional crisis? If he hasn't gone too far now, when are we going to allow him to go? This is just like inching. We keep inching to the line. You keep allowing the line. Oh, it ain't past the line, but we got close. When the hell are we going to stop and say this president has become lawless? Okay. When are we going to have that concern? Does anybody want to come up on the panel and say anything? Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. If you want to come up on the panel, I'm going to give you a minute. Is this lady pro-dictator? Y'all goofy. Y'all goofy. Just because somebody doesn't agree with the president breaking the constitutional laws or stretching his powers beyond what they're supposed to be, you say I'm supporting a dictator called Maduro. Y'all ain't nobody said, y'all ain't said nothing about y'all supporting the supposed pedo in the Epstein files. Y'all, if y'all can do that, then I can support Maduro. That don't even make no sense. But here's the thing. They are barreling towards the blue wave that is coming this year in the midterms. So you all do know, if the Democrats take the House and they take the Senate, by some miracle they get the Senate in any way, shape, or form, you do know this president is going to be impeached. Sure, Costa. Sure it's not. And you can laugh all you want to. But you got to take the serious. You got to take the consequences of the seriousness, or you got to take the seriousness of the situation at hand. And at hand, There's a wave that's coming. Yeah, he didn't. That's not the point. The point is you don't have to say war. You don't have to say war to be in a war. Okay? You don't have to say war to be in a war. Okay? Did anybody go and check what I said? Did anybody go and check and find out whether Obama and Clinton had surpluses when they left office? Did anybody go and check that? Because you all were supposed to go and check that, and then you were supposed to come on the panel, and I dropped the link right there. Here's the link. And you were supposed to come on the panel and drop the link and then tell me that Obama or Clinton, neither one of them had a surplus when they left office. They inherited some bullshit, and then they inherited some bullshit, and then they straightened it out. Somebody was supposed to come up here and tell me that. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. All the like button, you guys can hit the like button. You ain't have zombie. You can hit the like button. Or the not like button, or however you need to do it, because some of y'all haters like that. Okay. But the whole point is nobody wants to come up here and challenge what I say. Clinton didn't have a surplus. Obama did. Clinton didn't leave a surplus. Obama didn't leave a surplus. Biden didn't have the best record they could have out of all the world's economies. Biden didn't come out of that economy as the best economy that could have been in all across the world. I just want to know. I want to hear from somebody. Seeing as how I lied about the fact that, what is it? I lied about the fact that Clinton had a surplus and Obama left a surplus, Clinton left a surplus, and Biden had the best record coming out of COVID than any other person on the planet. I just want to be proven wrong. You can come on the panel and prove me wrong. Bring your evidence and prove me wrong. But that's one thing you can't. I said Biden had the best economy out of every person on this planet, every country on the planet. Biden pulled us out of the gutter. Okay? Nobody can prove me wrong. It just is what it is. You can't prove me wrong. Nobody's saying anything about Biden's economy. I said he pulled us out of the ditch better than any country in the world. Biden did that. Okay. Not saying, no, don't call him no names now. Don't call Biden no names. Come with the facts. Don't call him no names. Come with the facts. Because if you can't come with the facts, ain't no sense in you talking. No, I'm very smart, Mark. I'm very smart. You come up on the path. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Did y'all see that link? Hold on. Hit the link. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. I told you to come on the panel and prove me wrong. No, Lorenz Tate. I don't read none of that out there. If you want me to read something that you said, you need to put it in a super chat. Otherwise, you can come on the panel. I ain't seen one super chat yet. You didn't want me to read what you wrote. So if you don't want me to read what you wrote, then just keep writing like that. Otherwise, put it in a super chat. I don't ask for super chats, but I ain't turning those super chats away. But I appreciate a super chat. If you have a question, put it in a super chat. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Do all of them good things. Okay? Do all the 9%. Yeah, Biden had inflation. The height of Biden's inflation was 9.7%. That was the height of Biden's inflation in the year 2022. Biden got it all the way down from 9.7 all the way down to 2.6, where it is right now, creeping back up under Donald Trump, which makes it 3%. Yeah, this is a comedy site. No, this is where we spit out facts. We don't spit out propaganda that you want to hear. Okay? We spit out facts. The highest rate of inflation with Biden was 9.7% in the year 2022. He got it all the way down to 2.7, I think, or 6 or something like that. He got her all the way down to 2.6. That's what Biden did. So Biden got the inflation rate down to 2.6 or 7. Go look it up. God damn, you ain't got to listen to what I say. I'm lying to y'all. I'm lying and saying the biggest lie in the world. I'm saying it. But I bet you won't hit that link, though. I bet you won't hit that link with your facts. I bet you won't hit that link. And see, if somebody told me if somebody told me to hit the link and I was in a MAGA chat, I would hit that link in a minute and give you the facts. But y'all ain't gave me the link. Y'all ain't gave me the facts, and you don't have the facts. You're just saying that I'm lying. Okay? When I gave you, I said X, Y, and Z. Go check it out. Something so very simple. Find out when Biden's the highest rate of inflation. What year did Biden have the highest rate of inflation? Go look that up. That's a simple 10 so words. Just type it into Google, type it into Gemini, type it into Chat GPT. Just type it in there. When was the year that Biden had the highest inflation? Type it in. Type it in. And then you type in, what did Biden have inflation-wise when he left office? That's all you got to do to see if I'm lying to you. But I bet you won't come back and say that, though. I bet you none of y'all come back and say that, though. Because I'm not lying, and you know I'm not lying. XX Brochico XX, $1.99. Look up the War Powers Resolution of 1973. Why am I looking up the War Powers of 1973? Seeing as how I don't know what that would even prove. What would that prove? The 1973 War Powers Resolution. It intended to limit the president's ability to send U.S. armed forces into hostilities without congressional approval. Yeah, he's doing all of those things. It was passed in the aftermath of the Vietnam War when Congress wanted to reassert its constitutional role over decisions about war and military engagement. After years of U.S. controversial military involvement in Vietnam, including troop deployments and bombings, without formal declarations of war, Congress passed the War Powers Resolution to counteract what many lawmakers saw as an imperial presidency. Well, why aren't they doing anything about Donald Trump? Why ain't they doing nothing about Donald Trump? Here's the thing. There's the Republicans that are in charge. The Republicans are in charge. See, and they're in a whole nother branch of government. There's 3 forms of government. You do know that, right? So when the Republicans go along with everything this president says that's not in the interest of American citizens, ain't no America first with this president. The Republican Congress should be pushing back. That's why we have to remove the Republican Congress, because the Republican Congress has no pushback for this president and the things this president is doing. So how many times are we going to allow this president to inch closer to the line? How many times are we going to allow it? Are we going to continue to allow him to inch towards that line? No, that ain't too far, Donald Trump. It ain't that far, President. No, you trying to do X, Y, and Z. It's not that far, Mr. President. No, we want you to punish your enemies in the news media. No, it ain't that far, your president. We don't care about that. We want you to continue. How far are we going to allow it? No, Mr. President, you had a war over there in Iraq. You went over there and bombed Iraq for another country, sir. You went over there and bombed Iraq for another country. No, Iran for another country, sir. You went over there and bombed another country for Israel. Then you went over there and bombed Iran. I misspoke. Then you went over there and you bombed Nigeria. We don't give a fuck about no Nigeria. What you doing over there in Nigeria bombing for some Catholic Catholic folk? We don't give a fuck about that. Stop it. Stop it. How long are we going to allow the president to do this simple shit? Yeah, I sound just like that, Gravity. You sound dumb as hell. Because you're just the kind of candidate this president wants to support him. One of these idiot candidates that just allow the president to do and say everything. To do and say anything. You're just the type of person. He did say you had to be slow in order to be on my team. I get it. I get it. That's wild to me that we allow all of this to happen. What the hell did we just do? Hello, be more, what is the name?
Oh, how you doing, Q?
Hello.
How you doing? You hear me?
I'm fine. I can hear you, hon.
Okay. Now, I think you have a phenomenal show. There's a lot of things I disagree with, but I do think that you have a phenomenal show. But are you pro, if I may ask, are you pro Democrat?
I'm a flaming liberal.
Okay. Whatever that means. Because I'm confused. Could you elaborate on that?
I'm a Democrat.
Okay.
I'm firmly on the Democratic side.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you so you're American, so you do believe in Christ and the Bible, correct?
I don't follow the Bible, no.
Why is that?
Because I don't need a book to tell me how to be a good person.
Oh, okay. Even though that sounds like an escape for my next question, I'm gonna ask you.
I don't begrudge people who are use the Bible. I'm just saying I don't need a book to tell me how to be a good person.
Okay.
That's all. I mean, you can believe in whatever you want to believe in. I just don't think a book needs to tell me how to be a good person. And isn't that the point of a Bible, to tell you how to be a good person on this planet? Isn't that the roadmap to be a good person on this planet? Right?
I could agree.
I'm just saying, so I don't need the book to tell me how to be a good person. That's all.
Okay. So you do believe in God, correct? A higher being?
I believe there's a higher being, yes.
Oh, okay. So we are created as we are.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. So do you support individuals? I can't even go with the delusional mayor in New York. The delusional mayor in New York, where we reside at right now.
Who, Mandani? Mandani?
Yeah, the gentleman who just indicated that he's going to put over $60 million into transgendering.
What?
Kids? I mean, if you want to look it up, it's been suggested that he's pushing for that. So if we are created as we are, I believe in male and female. All the rest of the things the social construct is made up.
Yeah,
but males and female.
I do too.
So we have over 700,000 homeless Americans here in America. And I'm a Republican.
Right.
And I don't understand how we can allocate over $60 million for people who have mental illness, and you don't do the same thing or even more for homeless Americans. Like, for instance, the last mayor who was called in front of the House of Representatives, and Senator Hawley asked him, along with the mayor of Boston, and the mayor of Chicago, another one that's lost his ever living mind. Why are you spending so much money on illegals and other individuals who had mental illness versus your own people in America. It makes no logical sense. And you're using the taxpayers' money to do this. Same thing in Seattle, in Minnesota. Changing the flag to a Somalian flag makes no logical sense. None. It doesn't. I'm like, I don't understand how the Democrats, they have lost it. And I used to be a Democrat, so I know how it is.
You say the Democrats have lost it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. With all due respect, yes, ma'am.
How does that translate to Democrats? You say Democrats have lost it. No. These are specific cases that you're bringing up. Not all of us Democrats think the same, just like not all Republicans think the same. I don't support transgender surgery for children. I don't support that at all. I would be against that, but that doesn't have anything to do with me being a Democrat. That may be on the part of a Democrat or specific Democrats or 1% of the population, but that still does not negate what the Democrat stands for. Just because they stand for one thing, there's 10, 20 other things that they stand for that I believe in.
Okay, but when someone votes, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about just individuals in America. They always say this, did you vote? And you got to pick the lesser of two evils. I've heard that many times.
Right.
So is the lesser of two evils the person who supports transgender? I'm not even talking about the kids alone. I'm talking about people who have mental problems, want us to like bow down to them. Like this, remember the situation where the male was in the locker room with the female, and that female was taking a shower, and that male was standing there, and that male said, "I identify as a lady." You don't identify as a female. That was wrong. But there's so many Democrats supporting that, playing in sports. Like I don't understand. 2025, y'all don't know what a female is? I'm not talking about you.
See,
my neighbors don't know what a female is. They say whoever identifies as a female. That's crazy.
I'm saying to you that no, I don't support men in sports. I don't support the transgender for children. I don't support some of those things. Of course I don't.
Okay.
But that does not negate the overall message of the Democrat. You all make it seem as though our only message is transgender people. That's not the only message of a Democrat. Democrat has many more messages and many more things that are more important than 1% of the population. So I am a Democrat. I don't support those things. Just like you Republicans don't support all of the things that are on your side. That's the same thing with us.
That's true. That's true.
Everything, excuse me. We don't support everything that's on our side. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying I align more with the Democratic principles, more with the Democratic Party than I do with the Republican Party. That's why I go with the Democratic Party.
And I agree with you. With all due respect, I don't align with, I look at it this way. I would like to say Republicans only, but I can't. So I say Americans only. And in all actuality, when I hear people, I know you're real smart. I've seen you. There's another show that you appear on, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's your twin. These two brothers be critiquing this young lady's show, a dating show, and then they go and critique it. And I think I saw you on that, and I've been in the chat, and your chat as well as theirs, making comments. So I think that you're a phenomenal person, and especially smart. And it's crazy to me that, like in Chicago, my cousins are there, and even in New York, where they can allocate money to illegals. And I know it's a game being played, It's basically, American citizens that are homeless, because we went and fed the homeless people in Oakland, California.
Right.
And the crazy part, in Chicago, my cousins was telling me that there was a certain bridge that had some illegals there, and it also had some American citizens that were homeless as well. And they came and got the illegals first, because, like the delusional Don Lemon said, you got two people that's homeless. You got illegals that are homeless, and you got homeless Americans. Who would you house first? This question was proposed to him. He said the one who's in the worst shape. If the illegals are in the worst shape, you give them a home first. So you're gonna let the Americans stay out in the streets homeless, and you're gonna put illegals in. There's no other country that does that.
But that makes sense.
Oh, come on, man.
But it makes sense. Wait a minute, let me finish. I'll let you talk. Let me finish. It makes sense. Oh, mute. It makes sense if that is how you prioritize things. If you prioritize things based on, well, if you're an illegal or you're a full-blooded full-fledged American, but I'm the illegal and I'm bleeding out, and you're the full-fledged American, but there's nothing wrong with you, I would take the illegal because the illegal is bleeding out. That's his logic.
But ma'am, we can use someone's about to die, someone's not dying. We're gonna work on the person who's more critical first. I get that. But we're talking about, you're gonna use taxpayers' money to and like if I had, let's use another question. Let's use another example. People got their houses right here, and their kids are grown, and they found out their kids was homeless. Okay, and so we got to use Don Lemon's theory. You take the illegal in your house first, and then when you get some more money up, then you can bring your kid back in the house. America is our home. We should be first priority, not people coming across the border. I feel for them. I wish they had a better, but I can't leave 700,000 and growing homeless Americans. I ain't talking about the ones who crazy. I'm talking about the ones who have a job, who I fed, giving them homeless, who work at UPS, who work at FedEx in California, but they don't make enough money to put a roof over their head. But they make too much to get government assistance. But you're going to take in somebody who don't make no money and give them a place to stay. Makes no logical sense.
But you said which one was the worst. You said he made his determining factor by who is the worst off. You said that. So
yes, ma'am.
So the worst off. What do you mean by worst off?
Okay, so we wait a
minute. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean exactly that. Which one is the worst off? They're two homeless people. One has diabetes and they need medicine, otherwise they're going to die, and that's the illegal one. The other one doesn't have anything wrong with them, or they might have need a bandage on a foot. Which one do you think is more priority, or which one do you think is worse off? The one who hasn't taken their diabetes medication and they're blind and they can hardly see, or the one who has a cut on the foot? Which one is more a priority? It would be the one who has diabetes, right or wrong.
So are we using your example? We're using illegal immigrant versus an American, correct?
Yes, illegal immigrant versus American. So,
and if you're going to take Americans' taxpayers' money should cover the American first. Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean if it's going to take the taxpayers? But see, that's the thing. You're talking about, regardless of the depth of the injury, or depth of the decay, or depth of how bad they are. It doesn't matter how bad they are. That's what you're saying. They could be over there with a gunshot wound. The illegal person can have a gunshot wound, but the American can be fit, feminine, and friendly, and you would take the fit, feminine, and friendly above the gunshot wound?
No, ma'am. You're correct.
So therefore, you believe what the man believes. I take the worst case first.
I mean, you moved the narrative. I get it. It's like when someone says about rape. When someone said, okay, there are females in my city, and probably in y'all cities too, I don't know, that use abortion as contraceptive. Like they said, well, what if they got raped? Okay, if they got raped, then we're gonna take that measure. But you done had abortions 5-6 times. You ain't getting that. You use. I mean, you don't know about a condom. You're using the worst scenario.
I am not, because I used the simple scenario before. I used a simple scenario about using medication as opposed to not having medication, and you still said take the American first. So I moved it to a worser case scenario, and you still said take the American first. So I'm saying it doesn't matter whether it's your criteria is if they are an American, you're going to help them first, regardless of whether this person is dying on the side of the road and they're illegal. You're going to take the American first. I'm saying the gentleman you spoke about said he's taking the worst scenario first. He's taking the person that has the worst homeless circumstance. He's taking that person first, regardless of whether that person is illegal or not. Do you just have a thing against illegals?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I said I didn't have a problem. I said I feel for them. But even in Israel, when Israel attacked the so-called Hamas, when they attacked them and their refugees went to neighboring countries, they didn't put their citizens out in the street and move them into an apartment. Mm-hmm. They can't fed you out in the streets, but they didn't put you. There are hotels in New York where the last mayor, I don't want to say his name either because he flip-flops, was you had hotels that in America that you was putting illegals in that homeless Americans couldn't go into to stay. And you had all those beds, extra beds. You got to stay outside. I'm sorry. And Americans are footing this.
I'm sorry.
That doesn't make sense.
I should have said something to Famous. Famous?
Hey, yeah, hello. I was just trying to say, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I was just trying to say hello, and I just got on here to see if everything worked. So next time I come up, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you wanted to contribute to that conversation.
No, I do, but I'm sort of just got stuck in LA traffic right now. So
okay.
And yeah,
come back up anytime. You know how to get up here now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
I can't. That's a funny thing. I flew in from California. Remember I told Oakland, when I tell you I was there helping in 5 organizations, feeding the homeless. And it made no logical sense when I was listening to the stories. Mm-hmm. I was like, he said, no, I work at UPS. No, I work at the library. I'm like, why are you homeless?
But
we don't make enough money to.
Yeah, that people don't make enough money. That's the terrible thing.
Ma'am, they was putting illegals in apartments, in hotels. Why is the Americans not in hotels?
But that's the whole point. It's state specific. It depends on the state, because that's not a all across the nation thing. It's state specific.
It's in blue states. It's in blue states.
Not all blue states, because I'm in a blue state and we don't do that here.
Are you because Chicago doing it too? Chicago, I'm glad they flipped red. I'm glad they was pushing for red. I seen my cousins showed me some young ladies who's 70 and 80 years old had "Make America Great Again" hats on their heads. Now we don't agree with everything the Republicans do.
Okay,
but it seems like Democrats do.
Yeah, but hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
I told you I don't believe in the transgender thing with children and the transgender thing in sports. I told you I don't believe in that. Yet and still, the priorities of the Democratic Party still apply. They still apply. Just because there's one section of something that people don't like doesn't mean that I abandon the whole party. The party still has the values and norms that I like, that are a part of what I believe in. Okay, they still are. You all as Republicans seem to fall behind everything that a Republican says. We over here as the Democratic Party do not. We do not lockstep fall in line with everything that a Democrat, but our democratic norms are always going to stay the same. What we believe in is going to stay the same. We believe in programs to help the homeless. We believe in helping our fellow man. We believe in those things. That is not what is over on the other side.
So I hear you, and I respect your response. Can you tell me about, because I think I was going back and forth your previous shows with the moderators, and I tried to explain to them, because people said that this land was stolen. And I was going back and forth with a couple of people in Oakland. I was like, if you feel as though, first off, if you got to look at it, it was purchased for 15, for some millions, so the states weren't stolen. But, if you got hoodwinked on the price, that's your fault, but at the end of the day, my thing is this: when I tell you that it's against the law, it's U.S. Code, and I say it all the time, U.S. Code 8, Title 8, Section 1312, 23, 24, 25, 26, and going. You and I know, and you're very, very smart, it's illegal to harbor illegal immigrants. It's illegal also to have them working.
So
it's a crime.
Here's my question. And you're a Republican, so I'm going to ask you. This is a nation of immigrants. This is a nation of immigrants already. You cannot get rid of this many. You cannot get rid of this many illegals in the country. You just cannot. It's physically impossible.
Then do your paperwork. That's all you gotta do. Get your visa together. I got friends who got their visas together.
Why isn't that the talking point?
You can't break a crime, ma'am. You can't break a crime. If I gotta get punished, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but if I go and not jaywalk, but if I run a red light, I get punished for it. But you telling me you're gonna break a crime, which is a crime to come here illegally and stay here too. Work a job is also illegal. Living in someone's dwelling is also illegal. But nobody punishes you for that. You just get sent back over to your country.
Yeah, but do they deserve to go to a place like CCOT?
No, man. I think the way you came over, if you came across the border, I'm walking you back over there. Bye-bye. Now, if you come back again, it's more charges. I don't think they should jump in planes and waste taxpayers' money flying here and here and here. No, I think they should walk you across that border. Now, mind your face taken, your fingerprints taken. We catch you again, it's more time. And if you feel as though my country is so bad that I need to come over to here, I'm going to risk it. And I get it. Then you got to, what's that? I forgot the little song they had. Don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time. Then you're going to sit in our American prisons.
So why is it that instead of throwing them out, why can't we make them legal?
No. Because there's people here that went through the system the right way and got legal. And that's disrespecting them. No. We can't give you a curve since you're here.
We don't care about that. We care about
there's a whole I know Jamaicans. I know Jamaicans who got pissed off because there are people coming across illegally. My parents did it the right way. Why can't they do it the right way? We had to wait in line. Why you jump in the line? If I'm at a football game,
it's not a matter of jumping the line. It's a matter of everybody lining up right on the line. It's
the matter of doing the right thing.
So if
you can't change the system. We're Americans. We made rules. You can't just change the rules that you see fit.
Okay.
So you know what? We're I heard of Venezuela, not Venezuelan. What was? We should send soldiers over there to stop Israel from fighting. No, we're not doing that. How are you going to talk to the parents of the soldiers who die when they're fighting against our allies? That doesn't make any sense. No, we're not doing it. Let them deal with that.
We need to streamline the process of people becoming citizens. We need to make it not so long, because there's some people that took 15 to 20 years to do it. We need to streamline that process down to 2 to 3 years in order to get.
Oh no, it's a luxury to be in the United States.
No. Hold on.
It's a luxury to be in the United States.
Hold on. Why is it that we have such an aversion to put these people in the country? Why?
Because, ma'am, you are aware and I don't know what city you live in, but there are jobless immigrants, illegal immigrants in New York right now. Jobless. So we got enough so-called white people and so-called black people and so-called brown people that are Americans here that we got to take care of through government assistance or whatever. So you're telling me, like I heard this right here, there was a gentleman
wait.
in New York.
You saying 1,000 different things.
No, it was a gentleman in New York from Iraq who came and spoke to the mayor council talking about remember when they shut the city down? If I don't get my program shut back on, I'm gonna have to self-deport. Bro, you should not be receiving government assistance. I know it's upon the state, but our mayor and the other one is ridiculous, is giving them assistance.
Wait a minute. This is state specific. This is not the government giving.
New York should not be giving illegals money. They shouldn't.
But that is what the legislation or the legislators have decided, that they're going to give them assistance. They have to because they've already asked to become a citizen. So therefore, while they're waiting for their meeting or paperwork to be pulled together, they will give them assistance.
I want to be clear on this, so we be on the same page. So you're saying someone who violated U.S. Code Title 8 they came in here illegally, hiding the fence, they got smuggled in or whatever. They get time to go through the court system. They broke the law, but you know what? We're not gonna worry about that.
But see, here's the thing. You are worried about them breaking the law. I am worried about them breaking the law. But you're worried beyond them breaking the law as though they committed some horrendous offense. It's not a horrendous offense to me. I'm saying, here's my position on immigrants. This is my position. I understand your position. Here's my position. I don't care who comes here. I like the diversity. I like that we have different forms of people who come here, who practice different things, who speaks different languages. I like the diversity. If you don't like the diversity, then you would have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. There's never been an immigrant who held me back from getting my college degrees. It's never been an immigrant who stopped me from making money. It's never been an immigrant that stopped me from doing any of those things. So I don't have a problem with immigrants coming. And most people don't even encounter illegal immigrants. So therefore, why do we have a conversation about illegal immigrants when most people don't even encounter these people?
I understand your stance. It's like I would love to go to.
Give me your stance. I'm saying I don't have a specific. They got to be here because of X, Y, and Z. I don't. I'm just saying they have never hindered me from doing anything. So therefore, I don't wish them ill will. And because I know that crossing the border is a offense, no more deeply illegal than having a traffic ticket or a citation.
Oh no! It's a federal. Why do we have soldiers at the border now, man?
It's not.
I need you to look up U.S. Code Title 8.
It's not a federal offense. It's not a federal offense.
My whole thing is this. My whole thing is this. Like even Nick Shirley, and I knew about Nick Shirley. I followed Nick Shirley way before he even became this blown up Nick Shirley was saying whatever that everyone knows about. But that's besides the point. I know he's getting help. Anyone who has a brain knows that this gentleman is not being start a YouTube channel and all of a sudden he's in an ICE car. He's over there in a prison interviewing prisoners, whatever. So he's getting support. I don't have a problem with that because in other words, you get an independent person to be a whistleblower. But you have individuals who have a lot to say about Americans. They call us in Minnesota and a couple other places they call us slave Americans, not Black Americans.
Mhm.
But, you know, they come over here, and I have friends, and I'm almost sure you have them too, that have their side business or their major business is a daycare. And they are Black Americans, you know, and they can't get the budget, the 2, 3 million, 1.5 from the government to keep their stuff open. And they got legitimate kids in there. But you could come here and hoodwinkle the taxpayers, American taxpayers, out of millions of probably billions of dollars, and people want to go ahead and well, you know, their crime is almost like the same as a traffic ticket, or, you know, or running the red light. No, because if I did that, you're going to punish me to the fullest of the law. But America can get punished, but we want to go ahead and just, you know what, let's deport them. But one of my friends committed a crime.
Here's a question that I have.
I'm listening.
What do you propose we do with these 12 million people that are here?
Well, the ones that are illegal, especially the ones who are not working, they got to go. They got to go, and it's a lot of them in New York. They got to go. You're not. I get it with the persons with the taxes and they paying, saying whatever, and them, and even that. If in all actuality, you know, you protecting illegals, that's some punishment for that too as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the ones who are illegal, who not working, you got to go. You got to move.
Well, let's have a figure.
Yes, ma'am.
How many people do you think are here illegally? Because I've seen three different amounts in the chat.
I believe. I can't see I can't see the chat. I can't see. I would love to see the chat.
No, I'm saying, how many do you think are here illegally?
It's millions. It's millions. I will say that it's millions. I mean, I know that, you know of that there are Somalians that are here illegal. I know some people from Haiti. I mean, I don't want to bust on them, but they've been here and they ducking the system. They got a private thing. They get money or what have you, and they've been here, you know. And you had the money to keep your paperwork together because you got riding around in nice cars and you got nice. You could have paid for your visa. Keep it going. You could have paid for your stay here, but you chose to say, you know what? I don't owe that to them. I've been here long enough. I'm really basically an American. Okay,
so,
well then
here's my question. My question is, I'm my estimate, and you know, I looked it up. My estimate, I'm going to give it. I'm just going to say, for purposes, it's 12 million people. So it's 12 million illegal people. How do you propose we get rid of 12 million people?
Well, and I got a quick.
Let me finish this.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
How do you propose we get rid of 12 million people over a specific period of time? That would take years to get rid of those people because the logistics alone, getting rid of these people, costs more than keeping the people here. So if it's a matter of money, then it's doing too much to have them even taken out of here. It will cost us too much money to put all of them out. Okay. So I'm saying to you, why is it that we can't utilize those 12 million people to pay down our $10 trillion debt? Why can't we utilize those people to raise our economy and get health care for everybody? Why can't we use those people to do that instead of having the ambition to get rid of the people that we won't be able to get rid of? Because there's no way we have enough manpower to get rid of 12 million people. Why not utilize those people instead?
I totally agree with you, but I would do it a different way, because somewhat that question was proposed to me and by my neighbors, and I answered it this way. We have Hogan doing the dirty work out there, snatching people in a rock, you know, getting them all hysterical and things of that nature. If Trump, you know, my president, was to elect me to do the other part. I wouldn't come after the illegals. I will come after the companies that you work for. So I'm gonna paint you a picture. You work for American Express or UPS or Amazon. You got 400 employees there. We found out those 400 employees, extra employees you got there are let's use a good number, 100. You got 100 employees, and they are illegal. What I'm going to do is this: I'm not going to come in there and grab those people. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to charge you each for every employee $100,000 per year for you having them to work there, because you got to pay back to the government for them being here in this country. And let's see if that company wants to pay that employee for 40. What's the annual wage? $50,000 a year to work at Amazon, plus an extra, give the government $100,000, because we can pay off our debt quick if we charging you to house and work homeless, and I'm talking about apartments too, to house and work illegals. I'm going to charge you for them being here. Now, what you think somebody's going to do? If I got a company, I work at McDonald's, I got McDonald's or somebody, or no, a mom and pop store, I'm sorry, I got to let you go. And let's see exactly if an illegal, how long you going to stay homeless? Because you can't have a dwelling and you can't have a place to work at. You're going to self-deport.
Yeah, but you know how I know that they're never going to get rid of the illegals? Is because when they were doing what they were doing, the ICE was doing what they were doing in California, Donald Trump's buddies that were hotel owners and were farmers called him up and said, you can't do that. Those are all of our workers. You can't do that. And Donald Trump came out and said, we were going to be targeted in who we were going to get. From then on, they have been targeted, and they haven't messed with the hotel and the farming. That's why I know they don't care about illegal immigrants. Donald Trump, he doesn't care about those people. That's just a ruse that he put forward to get people to vote for him. If your buddies can call you up and say, hey, bud, don't put those people in jail. We need those people to work our farms. We need those people to work our hotel. If they can call the president up and he stopped them and his ICE people in their track, then that means he doesn't care about the illegal immigration here in the United States. Okay.
So like I said before, I totally don't agree with everything that we do. Like I said again, Hogan does what he does. I wouldn't want that job at all. I would want to follow the rules and regulations. It's against the law to hire them. It's against the law for them to work and don't have their paperwork all together. I would find the companies, whatever you work at, I'm within reason. I'm not going to find a mom and pop store $100,000. But yes, I'm going to find McDonald's. Yes, I'm going to find all the restaurants. Yes, I'm going to find all the hotels money. Because if you're going to work them, you got to pay us for them working there. You got to pay the federal government. You put them back into the federal government. So you give them their paycheck every week, every month, every year, and you pay us for them working there. If you want them, you want to have 200, 300, 400 employees, go ahead. As long as you pay into the government for them being here. And I'm not talking about taxes. I'm talking about you literally going to pay us for this illegal being here. That's how we're going to get our money back.
Famous.
I'm not going to run them out. I'm not going to run in the farms and chase them. I'm not going to run to.
If we were to deport all the illegals, who's going to do their jobs? Because
no one said deport all the illegals, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, hold on.
No one said deport all the illegals.
Hold on, B More. Let Famous.
Yes, ma'am.
Speak.
Go ahead.
What did he have to say?
Even if we deport a fraction of them, who's going to do their work that they left? Because black people are not. We've elevated already. We're not going back to the cotton fields, cherry picking fields, or nothing like that. You know, who's going to do their job? White people. They're trying to own stuff. They're trying to be the owners.
So you think, sir, with all due respect, you think we know all Americans don't work. So you think all illegals come over, they work?
Fraction of them, how they going to eat?
Well, you have families members here. You know, you have people who sponsor you. You live in their dwellings or what have you. There was a Somalian, a matter of fact, Spanish people did it too, that was bragging about I'm getting government assistance. Here in New York, we know that there are people getting government assistance from our stupid mayors, and they don't work.
Uh-huh.
And they have a dwelling over there while we got Americans sleeping on the street. Which makes no logical sense. You care more about illegals than or anyone other than Americans, sir?
But you know, like Americans sleeping on the street, how many years have they had to get off the street? Is it their
Oh,
fault or the illegals' fault? You know?
I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
sir, if I was on the streets for 10 years
Yeah.
and you just came across, an illegal came across the border, I still got to give the person who's the same mind, American, a place and a spot in an apartment or a spot in a hotel, or for that matter, any government assistance over illegal. You got to get in line. Americans first. But the way you talking about it, you want to put them, you want to replace us like Trump told us.
No, it's not that. It's just like, you know, 10 years, I'm just saying, you said 10 years. 10 years on the street, that just makes me think you're a drug addict, you know? You're not trying to do better for yourself. If you're going to let someone with not proficient English or writing like you have step over you, what are you doing? You're going to let them beat you out of a job? And you're on the street? That's a drug addict right there. There's no homeless in America, really. And if you are homeless, it's only, what, a couple months?
Oh, sir, have you ever fed, have you ever, let me ask you a question. Have you ever fed homeless people?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And I'm hoping you was listening to the stream where I came back from Oakland, California.
Right.
There are people who have jobs, and they put their clothes inside a locker, lock it up, and go to work. And they told me, no, you don't have to give me the plate. I'm okay. That person's homeless. That person was a little crazy. You can give them that plate. Pass it along. Because I make too much money to get government assistance and not enough to put a roof over my head. Why the government don't allocate funds from their legal funds and put it in there to house our Americans?
Okay, I would think you're going to have to distinguish a homeless person from a drug addict. I'm from California. I live here. Are those people truly homeless, or do they got a drug addiction? You know what I'm saying?
You live in California. You are aware that the annually pay of a person in California a lot of times can't put a roof over their head.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm paying $2,700 for a 2-bedroom house. Yes.
So government assistance should go to them to put a roof over their head versus taking a illegal who doesn't have a job and give them a place to stay because we got a kind of heart. You don't have the kind of heart for an American?
Right, but how long does that assistance last? Forever? You know, they're not helping out Mexicans, because it's predominantly Mexicans out here, for what, 10 years? You have to have a job to get these subsidies, especially Section 8. You can't make no more than $60,000 a year. I mean, so you're gonna have to get out and get something eventually before you get cut off, even if you're homeless.
So you believe that we should, well, I'm gonna ask you a question because I know some people in the other panel that I was on, that I'm in, other chat, believe that we should reopen the borders and let people over. Like, for instance, let me explain something to you. Let's go outside the United States.
Okay.
You know, Germany, I think Germany and Poland vets their illegals coming in.
Wait a minute, let me keep, I have never been out of the United States. My bad.
I have. And this lady HQ is smart as on the way, and she knows this. I know she knows. They vet their illegals coming in. Like, what do you do for a living? And they check. You just can't come across here. I ain't got no job and and I'm coming in.
But I'm not advocating for them to stay without any kind of recourse. I'm saying it's too expensive for this many people to be thrown out of the country. It's more economical for us to have them march them, and then this is a very crude way, but march themselves down to the Social Security office with some kind of ID, with some kind of birth certificate, have them take a picture, have them do fingerprints, have them do all of that so they're registered. I mean, just have a meal, ID fingerprint meal, just keep doing it all day, every day. So we have all these people documented and that who are not legal, have them documented, and then start having them be productive citizens in the United States.
Yes.
I'm not for them just kicking all 12. Sure, if you could just open up the borders and everybody would get out, okay. And then they turn around and be able to come back, okay, fine. But that's not possible. So I'm saying what is possible is give them an indication that everybody has to have fingerprint, everybody has to be fingerprinted, everybody has to have a headshot, everybody has to have a body shot, everybody has to be documented as to what your name is, X, Y, and Z. And now we know who these people are. Now, if you don't come out down within 6 months and register that you're here, then I know that you're a criminal. And then we go after those people, because the people who should be in the database, they will come up on a police scanner, a police database. They would immediately come up with that. And then you would be able to see who's illegal now and who's legal. But you give them an opportunity to become legal. Now, that shouldn't be a problem for you. Then they become legal. That shouldn't be a problem unless you're just a jealous individual, unless you're just an individual who don't want foreign people to come here, unless you're an individual who just has a problem with illegal immigrants. I'm saying we cannot get rid of all of them. Period.
I agree. I agreed with you the first time. HQ, I agreed with you. I said my plan would work better. If you want to be here, then we're going to charge the companies that you work for.
I don't work, so how are you going to charge my company?
But $100,000 is unreasonable.
Well, I mean, like I said again, remember I did say, right, within reason. My whole thing is this: you should not be, because look at U.S. I don't understand how people don't want to use U.S. Code Title 8, and you go look it up. Like it's illegal to harbor them. It's illegal to have a job. You need to be fined for it. The only reason why we don't follow those rules. I'm fine with not kicking them out. I told you before, I think it's harsh to run up into people's, companies and schools or what have you.
Why is it that everybody is so concerned about punishing a person that walked across the border? Why are y'all so concerned about punishing a person who walked across the border? Why?
Because we have 700,000 homeless Americans and growing that we need to concentrate on.
Yeah, but most people are not concerned about that. They concerned about the fact that they came over here illegally. Why are they? That's your concern. I'm saying that's your concern. I'm saying that illegal immigrants is not everybody, because those are the people that are homeless. You make it seem as though the homeless people don't have a choice, whether they want to be on the street or be in a shelter or be X, Y, and Z. That is not, they are not homeless because of illegal people. You keep making it sound as though they're homeless because of illegal people. They are not the same thing. So you keep making that equation that there's no point in you making that the equality thing, because it's not equal. Homeless people are not homeless because of the illegal aliens. So
I didn't say that.
So
I didn't say that.
So why
government assistance, American government assistance should be going to Americans first.
Well, we got all of that. So how does that relate to homeless people?
Okay, so here and again, that's why I started off with that question to you, or that example that Don Lemon said. The question was proposed to him. You got it illegal, fair ground. If nothing hurt about them, they're illegal. And you got an American. Who you supposed to house first? Well, we need to house the illegal first because they came across the border and they need sanctuary, what have you. And you're gonna leave the American out in the streets?
No, you're making
in America. That makes no logical sense. No country does that.
You're trying to make the equivalent of somebody being homeless. They're homeless because an illegal alien got their housing.
No, ma'am. No, I didn't say that. We got homeless people. They lost their job and times got hard. And
why are we making so why are we putting homeless people and illegals in the same category?
Because government assistance, United States, America, government assistance need to go to Americans first. That's why I put that in.
Americans are getting government assistance. And so,
ma'am, I just said to you that there was an encampment in New York. I'm there, and they pushed away Americans from being there because they're illegal supposed to be here, but it's getting funded by Americans. That makes no logical sense.
Fundamentally, I don't believe you that they're.
Oh, okay. I'm all right.
Fundamentally, I don't believe that they're helping illegal aliens.
So I came to lie to you.
I'm not saying that you're lying to me. I'm saying I don't believe what you're saying. I'm saying that you're saying to me that they will give assistance to illegal aliens before they give it to Americans.
And they did it in New York, ma'am.
I'm saying
if you turn away American and say that these beds coming from security, these beds, and I knew I should have recorded this and did like Nick Shirley and put it all on social media. When they say that these beds are for illegals, you had to go to an American homeless shelter. You got beds all in there, empty beds. No, these for illegals. But the people who sponsoring this is Americans. That makes no logical sense.
Wait a minute.
How you going to house and feed illegals but leave an American on the streets?
Okay, I'm saying that is not. I'm saying this is what I'm saying. I'm saying this is an instance in which that occurred where you were. I'm saying it doesn't happen everywhere. That's what I'm saying. So therefore, if it happens one time,
it's happened in Chicago.
If it happens in Chicago, that doesn't mean it happens in the other 49 states. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's happening in your state. I'm saying it happened on that instance. It's not the norm. It's an exception. It's not the norm. So what you're saying is because they gave illegal people beds instead of regular homeless people, this is why you make it sound as though they shouldn't be homeless because the illegals are taking their beds. That's not what happens all the way across the world, all the way across the United States. That's not how that goes. That's all.
Someone in your chat just said, I don't know the name, talked about Poland has stopped the illegal invading through their country, which is true because their prime minister, if I'm not mistaken, gave them the right to start shooting people. We don't even do anything like that, but because it makes logical sense. How are we going to feed? If it's come on over, you're going to get replaced. Come on over and we're going to feed all y'all. We got you. That doesn't make sense. You can't let all the people in my household. I can't feed all. I see homeless people walking down the street. Yo, come on in. I'm gonna take care of you. You two, come on in. I can't do it. It's impossible. I can't do that. And neither can the United States. We got to stop this. We have to slow this down to, like I said again, okay, let us take care of what we got. We should stop a lot of things. I'm not opposed. I don't like the sending money to other countries either. I don't like that either. I think we should.
I'm saying to you that what you described is not the norm. That's what I'm saying. You described is not the norm. First and foremost, it's not every state is not a sanctuary city. This is what happens in the sanctuary cities. 1. 2, there are more Republican-led states than there are Democrat. So the Republicans are not allowing that. So therefore, it's not the majority of the country. 3, nobody is giving illegal people housing past a regular, ordinary American unless they designated that housing for illegals and illegals only. That's the only way that happens. And it doesn't happen in every state in the union because Republicans run more states than Democrats. That's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you.
Okay, HQ, I like to say something. Stop it. 6847. I totally agree with you. 1,000 or whatever the biggest number, 1 trillion. I totally agree with you. We can't take care of everybody. Poland, we need to do just like Poland do. For at least, and I'm not saying being greedy, for at least about 8, maybe. Let's do 10. Let's do a round number 10 years. No illegals come in here, and let's get America back on stable. Let's just take care of Americans, and so that our place can start looking like Dubai. You go to Dubai, you see how nice it look over. Our infrastructure start looking nice. Let's just stop with helping everybody, giving billions of dollars here and billions of dollars there, and because it's starting to get redundant. Like for instance, America before my president did what he did with Debo and this president right here. Nice,
hold on, Ty Pro. If you're still in the chat, can you come up really quick? Because Ty Pro, he's in the chat. So I mean, he talks about and understands some of these issues. If you're in the chat, come on up, because I don't know whether I maybe I'm the only lone person here who said what I said. I dropped the link. I'm the only.
I mean, Franklin believes you too. Franklin, he believes in you.
I think the America was built on immigrants, and people got to remember that. That's what it is. I mean, and you can't. What is this? Reverse immigration?
And no, we have laws, sir.
Yeah, I don't think we should wait 20 years just for someone to come in legally.
Sir, we have laws, sir. With all due respect, we have laws. You don't.
Trump is going against them, so why can't we?
Well, he's the commander in chief of the United States. He has the most powerful position in basically in the world.
So what's the Constitution for then? If he can go around it or not follow it, why not give people that need a new place to live a new place to live? I mean, like
so here and again, you're slapping in the face of American citizens who make too much to get government assistance and not enough to put a roof on their head. You don't care about them, do you, sir?
Well, I am one of them, but I don't get. Well, I'm not one of them because I dug myself out of that. I used to get assistance, but now I own 2 trucks.
Thank you. Congratulations.
So here's what I said. What I said was you B. Moore kept saying we need to take care of the homeless population before we take care of immigrants. And I said, why did you keep equating those two as the same thing? You said that because they're giving housing to the illegal aliens and they're not giving housing to the American homeless. I said some of those American homeless could voluntarily be out there homeless. And it's not necessarily that they're giving housing to to illegal immigrants in replace of the Americans. It could be the case where you are. That's what I'm saying. But what I am saying to you is, one, there are more Republican-led states than there are Democratic states. And most of that stuff doesn't happen in the Republican states. So therefore, if it doesn't happen in the Republican states because it's led by Republicans, that means it's not the majority of the country that is doing so. Okay?
Flash in the pants. In the chat, I totally agree with you. Somalians is doing it now. They frauding United States taxpayers, and they want slap on the wrist. You know what? Y'all not using the money.
Yeah,
like this.
Wait a minute. We're not. Hold on.
What up, HQ? What up, everybody on the panel? Can you kind of catch me up on the conversation? I see it's about immigration.
It's about immigration, and I'm saying, what is the vitriol that all of these people have in the chat for the immigrant? I get it that what is it? Why is it that we can't tax them, fine them, make them come down and give us an ID and a face shot and a pass and a whole 9? That way we know who they are. Because I said to them, there's 12 plus million illegal immigrants in this country.
It's more than that. It's more than that.
No.
It's more than that.
No.
You telling me our president who couldn't think right was letting people in. He was letting people in.
On. There's only like 12 to 14 million. There's only like 12 to 14 million illegal immigrants in this country. It's no more than that. So my whole thing is this: why not give them a legal path to citizenship, seeing as how you cannot get rid of 12 million people? There's no way that you're going to have enough manpower to get rid of that many people. So since you don't have the manpower to get rid of that many people, unless you're going to continue to do this for 8, 9, 10 years, and then there's going to be even more people coming in, and you're going to have an endless supply of illegal people to get rid of. Why not give the people that are here some kind of pathway instead of it being 10, 15, 20 years like it is now?
Because that was nice what you said, but I have friends and their parents did it the right way. They stood in line. They waited the long periods of time. So you're telling me we're gonna make it better for them now than the ones who was there?
So what's wrong with that?
We're a progressive.
I got a problem. I got a problem with that. No. Like I said again.
So what's
help your household first.
Hold on. So what's wrong with that?
Help your household first. Help your household first.
Help what household first? What are you talking about?
The house is America. The people in the house is Americans. They the kids of the house. Help them first.
So you think it's better to have 12 million criminals, supposedly, according to y'all, every person is a criminal if they're illegal. According to you all, it's okay for 12 million criminals to be walking around without any kind of paperwork, without any kind of documentation. It's okay for them to continue to walk around instead of saying, we want all of y'all to come down and document yourself.
Okay. I'm going to give you a true story, nothing in fantasy. One of my friends got a letter. He has a wife and 2 kids, and the son, his son has kids too, so they're a grandfather. Went to show up for his he got a letter come in, to do a document, just like you said. Mm-hmm. Now he'd been here for like 30 years from Haiti, and they say, yeah, you can go to court, but he got to go with ICE. He go with ICE because he's not an American. My whole thing is this: you'd have did it correctly, sir. You've been here that many years. You'd have been in here. But I like it with stop at 6847. I totally agree with you, bro. You keep on rocking with them comments. You keep rocking with them comments because those people.
It's just a simple crime. That's it. Walking across the
border. I don't understand why. I don't understand all this vitriol for people.
HQ, it's a form of racism. That's all it is. And a lot of these dudes that don't know or choose to not believe that is racism align with the talking points. But it's racism because immigration been a part of this country since the Industrial Revolution. And it was mainly European or white immigrants coming over here. This whole brown countries, immigration from brown countries is a new thing that just started. And even still, it's a higher population of white immigrants coming over here than brown and Latino immigrants. It's just racist propaganda for real. And they try to act like all immigrants over here are criminal and they just outlaws and committing crime and bringing drugs. Why? I didn't hear what you said. I'm just kind of generalizing the same type of rhetoric you usually hear around these conversations, because you never really hear exactly what the true problem is.
Right. That's what the problem was. I said, people say, get them out of here. They're illegal. They're criminals, blah, blah, blah. I said, why not have them register? And then we'll know who's a criminal and who's not. And then we deport all those criminals, those illegal criminals, those ones that commit murder, X, Y, and Z. Why not have them go out? And then we got the population that we want. We got the people that are willing to work, get rid of our debt. We got a $29 trillion debt. Why not have them work that off? Why not? The money that we collect from them for 5 years, you got to pay a fee every year. You got to pay X, Y, and Z to be here and pay that debt off. I mean, there's ways to utilize the illegal immigrant. Why is it we worried about whether they're here illegal or not? If we make them legal, then we wouldn't have to worry about that. Now, wouldn't
then that mean all countries would do that? Are you smart? You saw my post, the Washington Post. People can look it up. You know how much it costs? Because you got to check them. You got to check, say they got diseases. You got to do. It's like in essence of $180 billion every year, bringing them across the border and taking care and doing the things. So taxpayers are paying for this. I heard Senator Hawley say this to someone who was defending them. They was defending them at the House Representative. Well, sir, they paid back some money. But they pay some money. They pay a large amount back. But the taxpayers pay more for you coming every year.
So
That's crazy.
But you all said that they already paid. You all said that they ain't no more coming across the border. Trump done stopped that. So why not utilize the ones that are here?
Well. So the taxpayers who before my president, the best president ever came and got in place, and he's making his last 4 years phenomenal. You want the rest of the people who came here legally. Like I said again, if I'm American, I commit a crime, ma'am, I get punished for it. I don't get a slap on the wrist. I run the light, and the cops give me a ticket.
If you do jaywalking, okay, go ahead.
Man,
be more. Let me propose this question to you. Say we deport every illegal immigrant. What happens for the country that makes it better?
I didn't say deport them, but for the sake of the situation, I said charge the apartment complexes or whoever housing these people and whoever's giving them jobs. They got to pay a fine, and the fine goes back to the government. Plain and simple. We tax them too.
That's gonna break the country, bro.
No.
How? What are you? Hold on, because I'm still trying to catch up. So what are you arguing? You're not arguing to deport illegal immigrants. You saying tax them.
No, Hogan does the deporting situation, so that's going to continue. But if Trump put me in charge, I would, like for instance, like I told Q, you got a company, they got 100 workers there, a big time company, Fortune 500 company. I'm going to charge, and I said, so that could be real egregious. But like I said again, you pay them 50, I charge you 50. If you pay them 48 or 42 or $38,000 a year, I charge you 38,000 to go to the federal government. So the company is paying for these people to be here. I got a good worker. I got 100 good workers. I need them here. I can't let them go. So, okay, fine. You pay for them to be here. And that's how and there's a lot of companies would do that. Because it's like when you get a sponsor, they sponsor you to come to the country. Okay, so you sponsor them to work. That means you pay for them to work here. Not only pay them a paycheck, but you pay us, the government, a paycheck for them being here because they don't supposed to be here.
All right, so let me stop you right there. So you saying if they're making 48,000 a year, you tax them. But if they're making 48,000 a year, aren't they paying taxes?
No, everybody pay. Americans pay taxes. See, the rules and regulations to Americans don't subside to illegals. Plain and simple, you're paying taxes. I'm fine with that.
Illegal immigrants don't pay taxes?
No, they pay taxes. I'm fine with that. But them being here, it's already a law already that you can't have them working, and it's a fine. It's a little small fine, but it ain't the fine I think it should be to make companies a little terrified of hiring.
I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to hear what the problem. I'm trying to hear what the problem is and what you think the solution is.
I think the problem is that you're breaking. We have laws in place for a reason, and you're breaking those laws.
So Donald Trump is breaking those laws. I told you that earlier in the conversation.
We can't talk about my commander in chief. That's my commander in chief. So
I told you at the beginning of the conversation that Donald Trump's friends, the ones who own hotels and the ones who own farms, called him up. Don't you remember when he got on TV and he said, we're going to have to help our farmers and our hotel people out. We're going to have to stop deporting their people. Didn't you hear him say that on TV?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't say deport.
Okay. So
I said fine.
Then this is a, and I told you straight off, the administration don't care about kicking people out of the country. They don't care about that. Donald Trump don't care about that. He would never have allowed those people to stay if that's the case. This is just something he's doing to appease all of these people. If Donald Trump today told y'all he was going to give a pathway to immigrants, y'all would be on board with it.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Board with
it.
No, ma'am. I told you I don't agree with everything that the Republicans do. No, ma'am. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with everything. I don't agree with everything.
Why is Donald Trump your favorite president?
Because, okay, at one point in time before I was born, other countries were. You already know this already, sir. That our military is minute compared to other militaries. There's only 300-something million people here. Well, people are terrified of the United States because we had a no nonsense situation. Look at Ukraine's president come and the way he wants to talk to my president, and you saw how the response was back. Him and vice president and the president. Like you can't come here begging for help and talk to us any kind of way.
Wait a minute. Are you serious? Did you do? Wait a minute. Hold on, type.
The Democrats look weak, man. The Democrats made us look weak.
Hold on. Are you saying that Zelensky did not have his hat in hand when he came and talked to the president, like we saw him with his hat in his hand?
That man had on that man. First of all, he wasn't dressed appropriately. HQ, you saw that he wasn't even dressed appropriately.
That's the way they dress when they're at war.
But when you come into the United States, you dress accordingly.
Different countries, though.
You dress accordingly when you stand in front of the commander in chief.
So were you happy? Were you happy when Obama was drone striking the hell out of Iraq and Afghanistan?
I had no problem with that. What I have a problem with, and I was gonna leave his name up out of here because I think he's a weirdo. But plain and simple, no disrespect. But when you tell black males on live TV that if you grow up in a single parent home, single mother home, that you should reach out and get weirdos as mentors. I don't think that's really great.
That was recent, and I'm just trying to get understanding.
Yeah, I mean, but he also gave the same-sex marriage.
Hold on,
sir.
I'm trying to get a understanding of your logic here, just because I never talked to you before.
Do you agree with same-sex marriage?
What's wrong with it? How is it hurting you?
I would answer that in a minute. Just hold on. Just let me finish. My bad, brother. I'm gonna let you get in here.
No, go ahead.
So you were impressed by Trump basically revitalizing the whole American army, we'll kick your ass type of energy. But Obama had that same type of energy. He was actually doing it. We haven't been in any active wars under Trump, but we were under Obama, and he was whooping ass and drone striking the most people.
So you want us to go to war, sir?
President. No, I'm asking you if you were impressed with Trump. If you were impressed with Trump just saying that the army is big and bad, were you not impressed with Obama showing and proving that?
I'm impressed, sir, by answering your question. I'm impressed by the United States showing might. So if the United States fights,
that's why you love Trump so much.
No, I love Trump because he doesn't just talk. Like, for instance, it's a lot of things that accepted in the Democratic Party for real. And I hope I'm not going to curse because that's not me. But I hope HQ don't kick me off.
No, I'm not going to kick you. I'm not going to kick you. You have your opinion about the Democratic Party, and I have the opinion about the Republican Party. We can.
Okay. So I truly believe, with all due respect, HQ, I truly agree. I believe that the Democratic Party has made the American men they feminized the American men. Because we want to go ahead and speak all nicely. That's the reason why other countries ain't scared of us. That's why Iraq says, Rand said, we're going to war with the United States. Like he utters that out of his mouth. Like you got a chance of even standing against us. But you utter that, whereas in a long time ago, you was afraid of the United States. It ain't like we going there to go kill you or what have you, but we can. But now, like this is boats coming across, and you can. They get helicopters. They tell you in their language, turn back, and you speedboat.
Obama was killing these people that you're talking about.
I told you, sir, I don't have a problem with that. I told you. I don't have a problem.
You would think that you would be more impressed with the actions of putting down, of showing why people should fear. So I'm just trying to see why you weren't impressed with Obama if you just impressed with Trump.
I told you I was impressed. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm impressed with America showing they might. So let me say it again. If we have an issue with someone and we showed our might, I'm happy with that. My whole thing is this: I'm not happy with the same-sex marriage, whatever, because unlike some other people, I believe in what I read. I believe in what I was raised.
But here's the thing: I don't see why it's an issue if it's 1% of the population or a small percentage of the population. Why is that? I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you as a Democrat to a Republican, and maybe you can answer for most of the Republicans that I run across. This is a conversation. When we have a conversation between Democrat and a Republican, the first thing you guys mention is transgender people. Second thing y'all mention is gay people. Third thing y'all mention.
They're the same, right?
Hold on, can I finish?
Trans and gay the same.
Hold on. Yeah, no, they're not the same.
Oh, how?
The third thing you all mention is abortion. Why is it that instead of arguing with the issues that we have on the table, like immigration, anything like that, immigration, food, health, Medicaid, ACA, all those things, the first thing we do is fall back on the cultural war issues. I'm asking you as a Republican, that's the first thing you said to me was, why you Democrats like the transgender people? Why do y'all approve of that? And I said to you, did I not? I don't approve of the transgender thing. I don't approve of certain things, but that doesn't negate the fact that I believe in the bulk of what Democrats do. And I don't want to have an argument about cultural things when we have millions of problems in this country, more so than 1% of the population, which is transgender. I don't want to argue with somebody about transgender when people need health care. I don't want to argue with people about gay people when we are at war and we shouldn't be at war. This is what I'm asking you.
Why? And I totally agree with you, man. So I totally agree with you. I said I said that I agree with you. I think that shouldn't even be a conversation. We are aware that if some miraculous situation, they said, we're going to deport the black people, the so-called black people, because I don't believe, back to back to Africa. There's a lot of African countries that people couldn't even go back to. They don't accept you. They're not like that. They don't. But here in America, it is okay.
But you still have not given us a reason as to why.
Because it's an abomination. It's against God. It's against God.
Not them. I'm saying let's get back to the immigration.
Not everybody's Christian.
Yeah. Why is it that it's
a Christian country?
Why is it
not a Christian country?
Yes, it is. Yes,
it's not a Christian country.
It's established.
So it's not a Christian country.
How was it established, sir?
It's established by colonization, not Christianity. It's not a Christian country.
So we have more.
It's a capitalist country. It's not a Christian country.
No. Hold on. Let me say this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the comment section, they said HQ doesn't believe in God.
I'm reading it now.
That's not what I said. You all didn't listen to what I said. What I said was, I'm not very religious because
you don't have to believe in,
because I don't need a book to tell me how to be a good person. How do you translate that?
You do not have to be a Christian to believe in God. God is bigger than a man-made religion, and that's where the brainwashing comes in at. And people are too brainwashed to understand the tool of religion. Religion is a device of control. You do not have to believe in. There's plenty of people on this planet that believe in God that does not subscribe to religion and have no need to subscribe to religion. But because you're in a cult, because your religion was created and founded in colonization, is going to demonize anyone who's not in your religion because of the purpose that Christianity was formed for.
Yep.
And Republicans are the group that has to have a enemy. They have to hate everybody. They have to want to take from everybody. And I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, but Republicans are the group that has to take from everyone, hate everyone. It's not about, it's common sense. TJ Through the Fire was up here the other day. He said something I resonated with. He's not Democrat, not Republican. He's about common sense. I'm about critical thinking.
Right.
Republicans hate everybody. They want to take from everybody. They always want to play victim and call everybody else a victim. And they are the group of the biggest haters. It's their fault I don't have a job. It's their fault my life is like this. It's their fault our birth rates is down. It's their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault. That's what Republicans do because that riles up a certain type of mindset. And the biggest two mindsets of people that Republicans appeal to are racist and easily manipulated people, easily brainwashed people, people you can easily give a religion and a purpose of life to because they don't have that on their own. But you don't need to believe in Christianity to believe in God. And and if you knew what your religion was about, you wouldn't be so hateful to gay people, immigrant people, poor people,
No
other
one's
races
hating
of
on
people,
immigrants.
because
No one's hating on
that's not
immigrants.
what
Or
your
immigrants.
Follow the
savior of
law.
your religion is even about. Jesus wasn't American, but white Republicans and Christian Republicans feel like Jesus Christ is an American Republican man, and he's not. Jesus would be an immigrant if he came back today. Y'all would be calling ICE on Jesus Christ.
Yeah, why did Trump say if God would, or Jesus was here, he would have won the presidency if he was a
Jesus Christ
voter
would have came
killer?
across the border the right
But
way too, as well.
No,
in
he
your
wouldn't
guys'
have.
if
He
your
he
guys'
was he
Bible,
was he was murdered for actually
yeah,
doing the opposite.
If
in
he
the
came
Bible,
back, he would do the right
if
thing. He
Jesus
would make the
came
same
back,
mistake
that's a
twice.
second coming. He's not coming back to count votes, bruh. He's coming back to take the chosen ones. He will never come back to count votes. Never.
Oh my goodness, man. Sir, can I ask you, man? You getting a little unruly. It sounds like that to me. And
Because it states in the
when I was a
Bible.
Democrat, I used to act that same exact way. I'm just gonna give you respect, and if I'm wrong, I apologize.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
sorry. Go ahead.
we not. You sound like you behind a mask, famous. But
Oh,
the
okay.
whole my whole point is this: this nation has many religions in it. You cannot say my
Right.
religion is the dominant religion, and then everybody else has to fall in line. That's not how it goes. We were founded on a country where religion is we have freedom of religion. So therefore, me being a Muslim, I should have all the rights and protections just like a Christian in this country if I was born and raised here just like a Christian in this country. But now we're getting, and the Somalis are Muslims or whatever they are. I don't know what they are,
Yeah, they
Muslims,
Muslim.
whatever. But they're getting demonized, and I understand why, because of the fraud, and most of that fraud was started by a white woman too. So I don't see no smoke for the white woman, but it's all
Always.
so my whole thing is this: if you all were so Christian-like, why y'all don't have Christian values like Jesus Christ would? And
Oh,
and you're not practicing the same way. But then I get demonized for when I tell people I am not a religious person. I don't need a book to tell me how to be a good person, because you don't need a book to be a good person. I have more success in my life than anybody deserves. I've never had a downside anywhere, and I have never picked up a
thank you.
Bible. I have never picked up a Bible since I was a kid. So when people say, well, you should pick up a Bible, you're not more. No, I don't need a book to tell me how to be a good person. Okay. You just have to be a good person. And good people and people who pick up the Bible are bad people too. So there's bad people to read the Bible too, you know.
Some of the
So
worst people,
I'm gonna get
some
off
of
the
the
phone with my
worst
religion.
acts in the human history have been done with a Bible in one hand through whatever time period you want to pick. But the belief of Christianity means if you're a Christian, you could be forgiven. So you could commit all these atrocities. You could colonize the world. You could
Mm-hmm.
enslave and kill and rape and pillage people, but you're a Christian, so now it's a Christian country, and it's not. Most of the founding fathers weren't Christians that signed the Constitution. Most of them weren't
Mormons.
Christians. It was more that weren't. There were more that were not Christians than there was that were actually Christian that signed the Constitution.
Hold on.
So
I'm gonna play
so
something for y'all. I'm finna play something for y'all. Every time I get the every time I think every time I think about Christianity and people who come up and say things about Christianity, like we should be a Christian, this,
happened,
this is what I
then
hear right
slavery
here.
never happened, then you would be in a grass. If slavery never happened, then you would be in a grass hut. Yeah. Right? Well, we need reparations. Your reparations are that you get to live in America. You're welcome. You're welcome.
You get to have the Christian religion.
That's
live
right.
better than your ancestors.
The greatest moment in history for any brown or black country is the moment that the white man's ships arrive on your shore.
Here we go.
Did y'all hear that bullshit right there?
That's Christianity. That
never happened.
That is
Did
the
you hear
foundation.
that bullshit right there?
That's the foundation of Christianity right there. That white man. That was the foundation of Christianity right there.
But yet I'm supposed to believe in people like him to deal with to make my foundation be something other than grounded in moral. There's no morals there in that damn video. There's no morals. There's no Christianity. There's no nothing. These are Christians. I'm not banging on Christians. What I am saying is, if I have to follow a person like that, and he calls himself a Christian, no, thank you. No, thank you. So, no, I don't want it to be a Christian nation, because we're going to run up against people like that who take the Bible and say, this is what religion is supposed to be about, denigrating other people.
Muslims. And if they read the Bible, they're falsifying the scriptures. That's blasphemy. That's an unforgivable sin in their Bible.
And there's nothing wrong with Christianity. I'm just saying, I don't need a book to tell me to be a good person. That doesn't mean I'm less or more than you. It just means I'm different. That's it. You notice I don't get on a tangent. I'm not saying anything about Christianity. I'm not denigrating it. I'm not giving it a thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm saying I don't need it in order to be a good person. If you need it to be a good person, great. It's fabulous. But I don't need it. But that doesn't make me less or more than you. And I'm saying to you, if you're following the Christian values like you said you are, then we shouldn't be having this conversation about gay people or trans people or immigrant people. We shouldn't even be having this conversation.
Ma'am, can I ask you something, Q? Because I remember you said it before and I wrote it down. Can you explain the difference? Because let me paint the picture first. If somebody tragically got burnt in a fire and they had to go to to be recognized.
Keep going.
And they had to be recognized. So the coroner they burned to unrecognition, and they had to look to determine what the sex, and then they got to do other things too as well. That trend you talking about, this is a boy, this is a male. So what's the difference in gay and someone who's born a male but walks around with the October 31st starter kit on like they a female? I'm lost, and a lot of people in the chat is too. I'm just questioning. I just want to know that what's the difference in the two, because one is gay is a woman who likes women, and a male who likes males. But a trans is someone who puts on a costume, and they the same thing, but other than the costume. So can you elaborate on that? We kind of curious.
You gay? Are you in the gay
No, sir. I would be, that would be blasphemy. I would be committing a sin in my mind, in my eyes, and in my heart.
Is that the only reason why you're not gay?
No, first of all, I love females, and for you to ask that question, do you know what a female is, sir? You know what a female is, sir?
I will hope a straight man's answer wouldn't be his religion. It would be, I'm not attracted to nothing.
No, I don't have to answer the question you want to answer, sir. I could ask you the question. Do you know what a female is? Do you know what a female is?
Of course, I know what a woman is. I know I'm not a Democrat.
No, woman is a social. That's made up. We either males or females. Period.
So, like I said, I asked you if you were gay. You said no because it's a sin. Me, if you asked me if I was gay, I say no because I'm not attracted to anything but biological women.
I wouldn't even ask that question to somebody. I wouldn't even ask that question to anyone.
So again, and this is why I asked the question.
Because I'm not feminist. I'm not feminized.
So this is why I asked the question. if you're not gay, why the fuck do it matter? Why you even care? Why are you so interested and
But
curious
my whole thing is
about?
this, because if a person who is a transformer and they say that they are a female, which is a lie, you're not that. You're not.
I'm just saying,
And
if you're not a part of that community, why do you even care?
and I'm gonna tell you why. One of my friends got written up and got in trouble at Southwest Airlines for misidentifying. And why should that person misidentify when you gave them your ID and then they complain because Trump messed our IDs up, made us not be able to change it? He read the ID. The ID says Mr. And he said Mr. And that person got offended and
So
asked for a manager.
that sparked some type of new passion in you to understand
No,
the community, that gay
no,
community.
no. You want us to accept your mental illness. We
Do
don't want to
you
do
have
that.
to accept it? How many times do you find yourself? Do you find yourself in that situation personally?
Plain and simple. If the Democrats would have got in power, I believe in 2028, this country gonna have more feminine males because I
And
think
that
they
affects your
frontline.
life. That affects your life.
Yeah, because I don't want my son, my little son. Now I gotta go ahead and worry about him. Someone telling him, "Oh, you can be what you want to be." I don't want a Dwayne Wade
Do you
situation.
think
I don't want
that
a Magic Johnson situation.
do you think that there's any gay people that's Republican?
They probably are. I don't know
You,
any. I don't have any gay
you
friends, sir. None.
I'm just asking in generalization. You think that there's gay
I'm almost
Republicans?
sure they are. Yes, they are. I
You
mean, the
think
dummies,
that?
the delusional people in New York voted for somebody who to put him in mayor. I can't believe for the life of me
Hold
that
on. Before you get to going down rabbit holes, do you think that there are Republicans that mess with Transformers?
I wouldn't know that answer. I couldn't answer
I'm
that
just
question.
yeah, if you had to guess,
It's a possibility.
do you think that all Democrats and liberal men are gay?
Bro,
Feminine,
you took it wrong.
yes, feminine, yes.
Why do you think they feminine?
Because I believe that because y'all embrace this. Yes, let them be who they want to be. It's okay.
And you think
And
that's
and to
feminine?
do that, you have to have some feminine. I mean, like I said, a lot of these. I mean, listen to the president, ex-president. He's pushing that you should have gay role models.
This is wild.
How old are you, bro?
This is
That's
wild.
irrelevant. That's irrelevant. And
I'm
I've been
asking because
listening.
I want to make a point.
This
I've
is
been on this planet longer than yourself.
Okay,
I'm
fair enough.
Okay, answer your
47.
question.
You
I'm
47
47.
famous, and shout
Yeah,
out to you,
yeah,
famous. I'll be seeing you in the chat, my brother.
yeah.
I'm 35.
Okay.
I'm a straight man.
Same
Okay.
here.
I don't care about I don't have homophobia because I know that does not have anything to do with me or my children.
same way. That's the way I feel.
People that are homophobic
We don't want this.
usually are fighting a demon. They feel like they right around the corner from getting turned gay.
That's a negative, sir. That's a
No,
negative. You got African countries.
hold on, man.
You
Hold
have
on. Let me
African
finish.
countries
I know you
that
from
that, that
Baltimore.
don't.
I know
So
you
what
from
about the African
Baltimore, so
countries who don't support that?
you kind of riled up for me more. Shout out to Baltimore. I fuck with Baltimore because who is y'all mayor with the afro?
He all right.
He a
I want
Democrat,
a
right?
Republican.
But
I
that
want
mayor has dropped y'all crime rate to almost zero. Violent
that's
crime
cat.
rate.
That's cat. Bruh, you can't even go outside at nighttime. You got to get all your bills taken care of before it gets
And
dark.
y'all went a whole year without a violent murder, a shooting that was a murder.
Huh. So you believe? See, you got to start watching CNN. One of
I've never watched CNN.
one of the persons in the chat says, "Stop following CNN. Those fake news talking points." Bruh, New
It's
York and Baltimore, if there
statistics.
are people getting killed, look like me, you and me. If you're outside at nighttime, you're prey. You are prey. It's the purge out there. People are getting shot and killed.
Well, so y'all
Ain't even
got
been a killing in
fraud
how long?
because
I don't know what state you talking
they're
about.
creating fraudulent statistics because you can look it
Facts.
up. It's a statistic. You don't.
Baltimore is ran by Democrats, the delusional party. Yes,
But
they run.
so are they lying on death certificates?
You hear that police car going down the street? Bro, I'm gonna tell you, ambulance all day long, bro. Understand right here is this: we
Somebody
cannot
could be
say
having a
Baltimore
heart attack.
murderland.
What
I
if
can't believe
somebody
he
having a
said
heart attack?
Baltimore murderland don't have murders. Didn't have murders in how long?
All I did was say shout out to y'all for dropping y'all violent crime statistics the last
Oh
2
my goodness,
years.
man!
Mm-hmm.
But the Democrats are famous for fake news. They love to put stuff out there, propaganda
You
to try to
sound
change.
like you sound like one of the black people Trump shows special interest in so that he could say, look, the blacks, they love me. They love me. And
Shame and
I'm gonna just
insults.
leave it. And that's
Shame and
not a shame
insults.
nor an insult. That's
Yep,
an
yep.
observation. It's an observation, brother.
Sir,
There's no
I don't know you at all,
disrespect.
and I would not resort to those kind of tactics to insult you
See, this
or
don't make
shame you for that.
You don't know all Democrat men, but you just said they were effeminate
Mm-hmm.
because you observed it through whatever you watched.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been listening to you talk, and I gave my observation. There was no disrespect or malice.
It's a guy right here saying something about, I'm from Baltimore. You are a moron if you think that the murder rate, bruh. Like I said again, y'all need to come visit here. Well,
Hey,
our
look,
governor
I'm
couldn't
just
walk
reading
around the
the
streets.
statistics. I'm
Sir,
reading the
our
crime
governor
statistics.
got chased out of downtown Baltimore. This is a fact. Off Park Heights. He walking around with about 30, 40 police officers and state patrol and whatever. We can't walk around like that. We don't have the protection like that. Bruh, he was trying to say Trump can come here, and Trump said, no, I'm not coming there. Your governor got to walk around with all them officers guarding him to walk around outside.
Mm.
Come on, man.
This is a conversation this is definitely a bigger conversation than what I open up the panel to have.
My bad, HQ.
No. You ain't. It ain't for you. It ain't you. This is a rabbit hole that we could jump down for real. But not today.
I mean, illegals need to pay their way. They need to pay their way.
And I'm saying that you need to really examine why every talking point that I've heard in that chat, you have it, be more.
Man, Q, you won't address it. You for helping everybody.
Yes.
This ain't church. This ain't a church.
So my whole thing is, why am I delusional?
Because, man, we don't have the resources to do that, ma'am.
What do you mean we ain't got the resources? What do you mean?
Feed thy neighbor.
We have 700,000 and growing homeless Americans. We don't have the resources to help all these other people.
There you go with the homeless thing. Homeless is
there are countries, there are other countries who cut their borders off. Why can't we do that?
To do with illegal immigrants, they are not homeless because of illegal immigrants. I don't know why you keep equating.
Can I say this, ma'am? If you have billions of dollars, billions, like I said again, Washington Post showed it, over $180 billion is put towards them every year. Trump, Biden, what's the name? Barack, I did nothing for black people. Obama, he was in there for 8 years. What is that? $1.2 trillion going towards illegals? I'm almost betting you ain't put $1.2 trillion towards homeless Americans for 8 years. I'm almost sure of that. You heard Kamala, I want to be black, talking about I ain't gonna do nothing only for black people, but Southeast Asians got a budget so they can borrow money.
Whoa, you throwing 1,000 things. Is that what?
Thank you. I'm glad you posted that. Democrats all are fake.
Hold on. Get famous. Give me your final thought, please.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Give me your final thought.
I think if it takes 20 years to vet legal immigrant, but the company they're working for is supposed to pay taxes, they're supposed to, pay a fine for 20 years until they get legal. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like
that don't make sense.
It doesn't.
You pay for a green card. You got to pay. It's not free to be in America. It's a luxury to be here.
It's gonna take them 20 years to get a green card.
Oh, that ain't got nothing to do with it. What they got to do with us? They got to do with Americans.
But you're saying,
but you're saying more about illegals than Americans.
Hold on, B more. Let him get his.
More about illegals than Americans. That's bad.
Well, I'm from California, bro.
Famous.
What do you mean?
Famous. Give me.
Okay, that was it. I just think companies will go broke if we listen to Be More. Shouts out to you, Be More. But I don't think that's wise to fine a company for 20 years, thousands of dollars.
That's never gonna work. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna
We
work.
don't know if they're trying to get their citizenship, but
They
even
mean
when they're
illegal.
trying,
Thank you,
so
famous. Thank you,
oh,
famous.
you welcome, you welcome.
Thank you, famous. Please come back, sir. Please come back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Be more. Please give me your last final thought.
Republicans first, Republicans only. This country needs to be ran by the Republicans. That song that I posted on your page a long time ago, I'm proud to be a Republican, where at least I know I'm free. This is our country, and we have rules and regulations that everyone has to abide by. When you want to come here, come correctly. We will accept you, but just do it the right way. Follow the law. We have to follow the law, so should you.
Thank you, Be More. Thank you, Be More.
Thank you.
Please
And my game come on at 8:20, so go Ravens. I got to watch the game.
Okay, thank you for coming. High Pro, give me your last and final. Give me your.
HQ.
Yeah, wait a minute. Let me say this. Everything I have heard in the chat, he said it.
They all regurgitate the same thing.
I didn't. Today is the first day that I actually put people on the panel, to actually ask about Republican Democrat. This is the first time I ever had people on the panel that I actually heard that. I actually heard that. You heard everything I heard, right?
I heard him echo everything that the people in your chat be echoing. I heard him echo the same shit that be in Nick Fuentes' chat, the same shit that they all brainwashed and in a cult. And it's sad. It's a sad thing to hear, for real. I can't even take that kind of stuff serious.
These are the things. These are the things that we deal with every day. So we're just gonna, the cloud will do what it's got to do at whatever time it's supposed to do. Sir, give me your final thought, please, and thank you.
My final thoughts is that, it's unfortunate that Black people are so aligned with that cult of the Republicans and the right wing, because the real Republicans are eating themselves alive. And, we're going to see how things play out. So you already know how I like to give my final thoughts. And the brother, shout out to the brother.
See, let me say this. Me and Ty Pro, we are similar we are similar in our thought. We except I'm fully on the Democratic side and he's in the middle. But he can see my point of view and he could see some of the Republican point of view. He's more able to look above us and see what is going on and what's wrong on each side. He's able to do that. So when he talks to you, he's talking from a position of impartiality, because he isn't a Democrat and he's not a Republican. Is that true to say about you, right?
That's a fact. I'm Black people centered.
Right. So I am firmly on the Democratic side. So you're going to get a Democratic point of view, but I'm going to also try to give you some facts, because I have been dropping link all day when I hear somebody in the chat say something that they say, well, you're lying. It's not correct. Joe Biden's had a high 9% inflation. I said only in the year 2022. Please prove me wrong. Go get the fact, and then you can come up and then prove me wrong. Nobody caught the link. Nobody said anything. So I've been dropping the link all day. So what I am saying is this: you have to come with the facts. Some of the facts I tried to speak with B More. B More is a Republican through and through and through. I know he wanted to call me all kinds of names, but I'm not getting into a shouting match. We're going to have a civil conversation about what X, Y, and Z. And I wanted you to come up, Tide Pro, because I knew you would be able to look at be impartial on his part and be impartial on my part. We do not approve of the transgender thing.
Right.
Let's be clear. We don't. But I don't run into those people every day, so I'm not going to concern myself about somebody I don't run into, and it's only 1% of the population. I'm not going to worry about that person like it's not going to rattle around my brain every time I get on a panel or every time I get into a chat. The first thing I say is, what about them transgenders?
Yeah, I try to, I got my own set of morals and beliefs.
Right,
I'm not, I'm a heterosexual man, and I
right.
raise my kids to be heterosexual
Mm-hmm,
man and woman,
mm-hmm.
but I don't hate gay people. I don't hate
Right,
anyone.
right,
So and I think that it's hard to, convey that understanding. It's like the people on the right have to either hate or you support. You know what I'm
right.
saying? I don't support, I don't
Mm-hmm,
promote. I'm not gonna
mm-hmm.
be at any rainbow rallies
Right,
or anything like that. That's
right.
not my lifestyle. I don't have, but I don't encounter it enough to even give a fuck. You know what
Right.
I'm
I don't
saying?
encounter it enough to care one way or the other. You
Yeah,
can live I can that trans person can be in the Democratic Party and I would never even know. I don't care. I care about what the democratic principles, what their fundamentals are. That's it. Whether if you're gay or you're trans or whatever and you fall under the same umbrella as me, you care about the same things I care about. Okay, fine. We're both under the Democratic umbrella. But that doesn't mean that I approve of your lifestyle. It just means you're under the same umbrella and you believe in helping all people and whatever the democratic principles are. That's it.
yeah,
That's it. I am not going out of my way to have conversations and talk and go visit and do all that with trans people. But I'm not
yeah.
going to get up in the middle of the street and say, you're an abomination. You should be dead. Brrr. I'm not doing that either. Okay.
Right, because that's why I don't really fuck with people on the right because they indoctrinated to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it on both sides, you know what I'm saying? I just
Mm-hmm.
don't I haven't I had like when I used to first come up on your panel, we would
Mm-hmm.
have conversations about the Democrats, and I explained to you why I don't align with Democrats and
Right.
all of that.
Right.
But since then, it
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been Democrats that's been giving me the issues that I view as a Black American an issue. It's
Right.
been coming primarily from one side, so they
Mm-hmm.
got my attention. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's hard that, and I love being a Black American. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
Black man and I'm an American, and I don't think
Absolutely.
that the Republicans are good for Americans. I think that the Democrats have potential to be good for Americans, but when it
Yeah,
comes to
they
the
ain't shit right now.
no,
They ain't shit right
when
now.
it comes to the people that they have, like I like the New York mayor, right, Madami,
Yeah.
I
They
like him.
Mandami, yeah. Yeah.
I not want to see more of that. I don't
Right.
give a fuck if he's Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
Indian,
Mm-hmm.
black, or white. I like his energy
Right.
and the fact that he seems like he cares for the people of his city.
Right.
And I don't like my government leaders ever being hateful to anybody that wants to share in an American experience, because that used to be what America was about. That used to be a part of the American dream.
Right.
Hey, the Statue of Liberty used to be a beacon. I'm not saying that's what it was given to us by the French for, but
Mm-hmm.
it was a beacon to people around the world to say, hey, you could come over here and live a better life. But because economics has changed, they don't push that message anymore. But that was when America was becoming what we have now. It was a hey, come live the American dream. People used to get off that boat to chase the American dream.
Right.
I'm here about I fuck with the people in the government who is going to make the landscape conducive
Thank
for
you.
us to chase
Thank
the
you.
American dream,
Thank you.
Democrat or Republican.
Right.
But you can't do that hating and victim blaming and saying, "Oh, it's the liberals attacking and it's this and that." That's that rhetoric to me, like that.
Turns me off.
Boxes it
Turns
boxes
me off.
people
Right.
and it puts people in a box and it makes people
Mm-hmm.
choose sides and it
Mm-hmm.
makes people want to have to go to war. You got Republicans and you
Right.
got the president
Right.
saying that the war is going to be fought within and the biggest enemies are within. I
Right.
don't trust I don't trust shit like that. I don't trust somebody who's selling pardons. I don't trust somebody who's fucking with big tech and big pharma to do
Right.
this and that. I don't trust none of that shit. So I
Right.
don't even care if you lying to me, but don't do that to me. You
Right.
feel me? At least tell me I'm gonna get a free bus trip. But with that, I'm gonna end it on stop cooning.
Yeah.
Stop cooning.
Mm.
Stop motherfucking cooning. You got your Trump shoes, you got your Trump Nikes on and your MAGA hat on, and you gonna get spit in the face.
Mm.
Stop cooning. I
Mm.
love you, HQ. Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you,
me up.
sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So you guys, hopefully you guys hit the like, share, and subscribe. You know we have content like this every day. You know we're going to cover some things tomorrow. We're going to do what we got to do. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. Type bro butthurt. Can't say type bro butthurt. But y'all hit that like, share, subscribe. I appreciate all of you. You know I do. And we will have discussions. We will continue to have discussions like this, similar, different, you name it, we gonna have it. And I appreciate all of y'all. I will be back. You know I will be back. Not today, but I will be back. You know that. You know that.